He went down with ACL.
There hanging out with some of my boys on Saturday night, man. That Green Bay game, man.
Yeah.
Damn, bro. Against the Bears, that was a good game.
Mm.
If you're
It
just a
was,
fan
bro.
of just watching games just to watch,
Yeah.
I got a dog in the fight. I was just kicking back, drinking some
Oh
beers,
yeah.
enjoying the night with my boys, and I was looking at the game. Caught it in the third and fourth quarter. Man, the Green Bay Packers had it, dude. They had
Yeah.
that one.
They
All
gave
they
it
had
away.
to do was get the onside kick and take a knee, and you were
Hmm.
done. Victory formation. You know what I'm saying? But they
Yeah.
couldn't get the ball, bro. And they effed around with the Bears, and they found out.
That's what happens, bro. That's what happens.
Caleb Williams, man, killed them, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
That was
Bears have
insane.
been surprising this year, man. They have. Yeah, sometimes it's good to watch a game like that where you don't have a dog in the fight, like you said,
Yeah,
because you're just watching it,
drinking
and you're
beers,
just like,
just like
yeah, yeah. You're just like you have no dog in the fight,
no,
you're not trying to stress out over the game. You're just
no.
having a good
You
time
just
watching a
talking
good
shit
game.
with your boys. You drinking beers. It's on in the background, and then it
Yeah,
starts to
yeah,
get
yeah.
interesting. You're like, hey,
Yeah.
man, check it out.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going on here last night. We were watching the Spurs game, but on my other living room, another living room TV, we had the Patriots game on.
Yeah.
And it was close for a while, when Ravens were up, and then next time I turn around, I look at the score real quick, and Patriots are back up. So what's up, Locos? What's up, Greg? JHNHB, Mario? Good to see you, Cholos. Yeah, man. So it's not bad. Yeah, Greg. Oh, Greg, we'll talk about that. Greg's talking about the shout out I got from
Yeah.
Jacob Toby last night at the game. That was
I
awesome.
heard that,
That
bro.
was that was really awesome. That was really unexpected. It was really cool. It was really cool. My son, we were
Jacob.
watching it. Yeah, and my sons didn't realize.
Where the dreams don't fade from the river walk nights to the Alamo shade. We rise together through the highs and the lows. Area 210. Oh, it's the life that we chose.
There we
Hey,
go. We're rising
yeah.
together through the highs and the
Hey,
lows. And you're
it's
a
the life that
Cowboy
we
fan,
chose.
bro. Woo!
It's the life that we chose, bro. Yeah, you know what, man? First and foremost, good morning to everybody. Shout out to everybody already in the chat. Everybody from San Antonio or wherever you watch this podcast. I'm out here in sunny San Diego. We got people in Austin. We got folks all the way into the Netherlands. We got people in Houston, right? My girl Myra's in the chat from Houston. So this show spans across Texas, Pacific Northwest. We got folks all over, man. So shout out to everybody wherever you watch the show. Good to see you guys. Mike is still out with his family, enjoying his time. So you got me. I'm off all week, baby. So I'm chilling, baby. I got the week off, so I'm here. But we got a lot to get into today. Of course, hey, I don't run from the smoke, dog. My team's my team. I'm always going to represent, even though they crap the bed, and we already know they're out of the playoff contention.
Yeah.
Again, our Spurs made it a little too close for comfort against the Wizards, but they still got the win. Looking ahead to these big OKC games, talk some college football. There was a college playoff that went on. There was a fight, quote unquote, supposedly a fight between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul
Oh,
on
man.
Friday night that we're gonna get into. But what's up with you, Joe? How are things?
Oh, it was good, man. I had a good weekend. I mean, I saw the fight with Paul and Joshua. We'll get into that. That was a payaso show, bro. But
Hmm.
we'll talk
Hmm.
about that. But it was a good weekend. I got to hang out with some friends. Catch up again with my boy Jonas Clark. Shout out to him, and shout out to Sean Quintero of PF Chang's. Man, he hooked us up out there. Took my boy out to PF Chang's. Right, we hung out there for a long time, dude. We had a couple martinis. I had the Japanese old fashioned, of course.
Oh
Had a
yeah.
couple of Sapporo's, the Japanese beer.
Oh, Sapporo's is good, bro. They have it
Good,
on
man.
draft. They have it on
Yeah, had it
draft
on
there.
draft.
Yeah,
Ice cold, bro.
Sapporo. Yeah, Sapporo is good draft, bro. Anytime I go to a Japanese restaurant, if they have Sapporo on draft, I'll definitely get that because it reminds me of my time out in Asia. So yeah, man.
Yeah,
If you haven't been to PF Chang's, they power the chat. PF Chang's La Cantera.
definitely.
Hit them up. But yeah, man, that sounds like a good time, Joe.
Yeah, it was a good time, man. Sean hooked it up, and we got to try a lot of food out there, man. He was trying to tell, hey, man, try the pepper steak, try the
Yeah.
prawns, and then he went and sent us over another plate of what was it called? Sesame shrimp. Sesame
Mm.
shrimp. It was good, man. Everything was good. And then he's like, man, you all got to try this dessert. So
Oh
he sent
man.
over the butter cake, bro. Oh man, that
Yeah.
thing was good, dude. And going down with the martinis and then the
Hmm.
Japanese old fashioned, drinking some beers. It's a good
Nothing
time.
wrong with
And then
that. Nothing wrong.
after that was over, I went back, popped back at the house real quick, and I was waiting for my other boys to get together, So it was Greg and me, Sean, Alex Noriega. We're hanging out at Alex's
Oh,
house.
nice. Oh,
We got
good,
to check
good,
out
good.
the Green Bay game. That was a good game. I was watching that with Alex, chilling out, having a good time, drinking some beers, just chilling with the boys, man. It was a good night,
That's
dude.
what's up.
Overall, good
That's
weekend.
what's up. That's what's up, man. That's good whenever you get to chill with the locals, man. And you guys get together because this time of year it's busy. We got family, holidays, right? There's a lot going on. It's a busy time. We also got to remember, man. Sometimes this is a hard time for some people. Holidays,
Yeah,
even though it's very cheerful and all that kind of stuff. Excuse me. Something about the holidays brings you know family issues or a lost loved one that's no longer here, right? You start
yeah,
thinking about that, or if it's the first time you're missing that loved one, or whatever the case may be. So this is a good time to check on your people, man. Check on your folks, make sure everybody's doing good. You'd be surprised uh how long just hey, how are you, bro? I've been making sure you're good, whatever.
yeah,
You'd be surprised how far that will go with some people,
yeah,
because yeah, some people are just depressed during this time of year, man. Because like I said, it's a happy time, but it can also be a tough time for people, and um I had I had a couple of conversations over the weekend also with folks who I know from Twitter, that I don't even know personally, that just kind of reached out and were like, "Hey,
yeah,
I'm going through it," like just want to kind of have somebody to have an ear. And you'd be surprised the little things, like just listening to somebody talk and vent,
yeah.
how that can help. So just keep an eye on that stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was doing actually when I was there on the weekend, man. I was calling up some people in the family because we're still dealing with the loss of my mother-in-law, so checking on the family, checking on my brother-in-law. Because
Yeah.
I started talking to some of my other friends, and it's like there's a good support system for like women, but men, they need other men to check on them.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like they need that support system too, to check on your boys. See if they're doing good. Hey man, just calling to say hi. How you doing? You want to kick it? You good? That kind of thing, and
Yeah.
it's good for men to check
Yeah.
on each other. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, yeah, and
Yeah,
we're bad about that, right? Because we're bad about like showing our emotions or like talking about stuff like that, or you got to be. It's just it's a societal thing, right? Society tells you, right? You got to be the man. You got to be, you got to just suck it up, and all that, and there is some truth to that, because as a man, you do got to do those things, but um. There is there's a time where sometimes just too much, man. And like you said, if you
yeah,
got a homie that you could talk to that ain't judgmental, and you could just straight up
yeah,
be real with them, that could go a long way. So yeah, man, check on your people.
yeah. I mean, shout out to everybody out here in the chat watching us. We appreciate you guys. You all are the Nestials. You all are the ones that are always here supporting us. We appreciate every single one of y'all, and even the ladies too. Myra,
Oh
Texas
yeah.
Latina. We
Hmm.
appreciate you guys
Oh
tuning
yeah.
in. Yeah, man. Let's go ahead and get into this and start talking about the Cowboys, man. Unfortunately for the Cowboys, they lost again. They lost to the Chargers 34-17. Prior to that, they had lost to the Minnesota Vikings. And basically, the Cowboys have just eliminated themselves from playoff contention with the loss, not the one loss, but with the victory that the Eagles had over the Commanders.
Hmm.
That's it. Eagles are in, Cowboys are out. Cowboys right now, they got to think two more games left on the season, and that's about it. If you're a Cowboy fan, you're still going to be there. You're still going to root for the team, but I mean, there are some holes here that need to be addressed, and one of those gaping holes is on the defensive end, primarily in the secondary. Man, like cornerback play needs to be addressed in the offseason. You need to go ahead and address some of the gaping holes you have in the defense. The offense has been great. It's been one of the top offenses all season. Dak's having a great year, MVP caliber year, but the team just can't get it together from a defensive perspective. If they could have had a balanced team, man, you'd be talking something different. They might be talking that this team might be going deep in the playoffs. They might be going to the Super Bowl or something, but they're not. Even if they had a serviceable defense, like we're saying, Rick, they could still be a really dangerous team. But at this point in time, the Cowboys got problems, man. And these problems hopefully can be addressed in the offseason, maybe through the draft. I mean, they got to do something because this team, if you just run it back again, you're going to get the same result, Rick. I mean, if you're a Cowboys fan, I know you are, and you're repping your gear right here no matter what. Cowboys and Spurs.
Oh yeah.
What are your expectations for next season?
Yeah, man, it's tough. It's a tough thing because, like you said, they actually had a really good offensive year. Dak put up great numbers. The offense was clicking. Once everybody was healthy, the double headed monster and wide receivers and CD and GP3 was clicking. Even Flanoy, Flanoy is a really good third option at wide receiver. He's coming to his own. What the running game with Williams is serviceable. The offensive line is doing what they're supposed to. So on offense, they've put up a lot of points. Normally, you would think if the Cowboys put up 30, 40, that's a win, but the defense is so atrocious that uh that they just can't, they're going to get outscored and they're going to keep, it's just going to be a shootout, and eventually the other team is gonna pull through more than often than not, which is what we've seen in their game so far. But yeah, the defensive holes are ridiculous. The secondary, the cornerbacks, they need some help back there. They can't stop the run to save their lives, man. Like it's just, they tried Elphabus, the defensive coordinator, to go up in the booth instead of being on the field because maybe he could see things better, and like that didn't help at all. I think he's a horrible coordinator, and I know he doesn't got a lot to work with, so that doesn't help either. But yeah, and as folks are saying in our chat, it starts and ends with one Jerry Jones. We know
Yeah.
that it starts and ends with Jerry Jones, man. Um, the owner of the team that is also the general manager, and like we've said this before on this show, and countless of people have said this in other shows, it's basically a conflict of interest. It really is, man. Like if you watch Moneyball, it is a good example of Brad Pitt's character when he's the GM and he's back and forth with ownership about how to get money for this team and what to do. You see in that movie, if you haven't seen it yet, but obviously a lot of people have seen it. You see the conversations between the owner and Brad Pitt's character, the GM, how they're back and forth because the owner is worried about the business side of it, as he should, because he's the owner, right? He should be worried about the business side and all that. The GM is the football or baseball or basketball or whatever sport operations guy, and that's the guy that's supposed to be bucking back to ownership about what they need to do to make this team better from a sports operation, whether it's basketball, football, baseball, etc. So for Jerry to be both, it really is a conflict of interest because he's not going to argue with himself about how much money to spend over you know what I mean, so that's the biggest problem now. And I hate to give him credit, he did open up the pocketbook a little bit this year. He did go after some folks, he did make some moves, all that, so he maybe he's trying to do something different, but it's not enough, man. It's not enough. There needs to be some change there, man. And if he could cut, if he were to just hire a GM, it would just show like, okay, this is a different direction, But we know he's not. Like, obviously, we know he's not going to do that. But yeah, it's kind of it's a wasted year because they had a really really good offensive um prowess this
Production.
year. They
Yeah.
had a lot of good production this year. Yeah, Dak had some good numbers. They started off, even though that very first tie with the Packers, or I'm sorry, going even before that, the very first game against the Eagles where they barely lost. And I know there's no such thing as more victories, but that kind of showed like, hey, they're hanging with the Eagles, on opening night, and then they go and Green Bay and get the tie. So they look good against some of the top teams, and then they just floundered against some of the bottom feeding teams.
Arizona,
So
like Cardinals out there in Arizona,
right.
man. Like there's some teams that are the kryptonite, dude. I don't know what it is about the Cardinals, dude, but sometimes in Cardinals, man, they just
Yeah,
seem to
got a
got the
number.
Cowboys number, dude. Hopefully things will change. Like I said, they have the off season here. They have the draft that they can go into, especially with that Micah Parsons trade there.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, at the end of the day, I think that Jerry and the front office have some tough decisions to be had. Moving forward, you can't keep everybody. If you want to move forward and add some pieces, they have to make those numbers work. It's a business at the end of the day, and they're going to have to go ahead and again go into the off season, look at this, and they're going to have to make moves, I think, sooner rather than later. Because one thing that Cowboy fans gripe on the Cowboys about is other teams are quick to make moves, quick to go
Hmm.
ahead and pick up certain players coming off contracts, making trades, doing something. Cowboys seem to wait around too long. And when they
Hmm.
finally decide to make a decision and do some things, it's kind of too little too late. You'd like
Yeah.
to see these decisions being made quicker in the offseason and not waiting around so long to, solidify those holes that you have in the defense. I'm hoping to see maybe a change in that, but with Jerry at the helm, it's probably going to be more of the same. It's going to be frustrating as a Cowboy fan, but you're still going to support your team and be there, ride or die. It's been more than 20 plus years, and we still here. You know,
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
watches a team every weekend, whether they lose or win. But all eyes are on the star every weekend. That ain't going to change. So just keep on rooting for our team. We appreciate the haters too for watching every Sunday. Keep
Of
on
course.
watching. Keep
Oh,
on
they
hating.
watch. They all watch. They all watch, bro. That's the thing. Like I said, bro, they watch, bro. Uh, and that's why they are America's team. As much as people don't like that saying, I think they're America's team not because they're a good team or because they're a great team or because they won. They're America's team because everybody watches them. The eyes are on the star. Whether you root for them or you hate them and you want them to lose, either way, you're watching. That's what Floyd Mayweather used to say. You could love or hate Floyd May. It's like the Floyd Mayweather effect. You could
Yeah.
love him, you could hate him, but either way, you're paying to see him, baby. So
Yeah.
that's what it boils down to. So the Cowboys are like that. Texas Longhorns are like that, right? There's certain teams. I would imagine in baseball, maybe like the Yankees or teams like that, where like
Yeah.
people just watch them whether they want them to win or want them to lose. Either way, you're tuning in. The Dodgers are kind of getting that way too in baseball, where you hate them, but they're watching. So yeah, at the end of
Yeah.
the day, when it comes to the Cowboys, man, and you see it, you see people celebrating that, oh, they're knocked out of the playoffs when they're Saints fans or Buffalo fans or
Or
whatever
even
fans.
Eagles fans,
The
Eagle
Eagles
fans.
fans. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're just more focused on being happy that the Cowboys are out than like worrying about their own team, which I would just find that odd. I find that an odd way to fan. And again, I'm not telling someone how to fan because I've been accused of that. I just find it an odd way to fan by watching other teams and happy that they lose and not just watching your team and happy that they win.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Like
but
when
that's
your
just
team
me.
loses in the playoffs
Yeah,
and they get knocked out in the first round, the
yeah,
wild card, they a wild card, and they get sent home. Wink, wink, Eagles. I'm gonna be just sitting down drinking on my drink.
yeah,
Pour me a little
yeah,
something, something. Maybe
yeah,
have a victory cigar in your
yeah,
honor there. Your team getting knocked out. Be like, hey, I'm not gonna
yeah,
be out there. Oh my God,
yeah,
doing
yeah.
a video and
Yeah,
throwing shade, man.
happy.
No,
Yeah, being happy,
yeah,
celebrating that the Eagles lost or that, like in college, right? A&M, right? Again, there was a
yeah,
lot of chatter between Texas Longhorns and A&M. And it was a lot of back and forth and Texas beat A&M. A&M ended up getting into the playoff, obviously. Then they win and put up
what
minimal
happened?
points against Miami. That game was atrocious to watch. Both teams barely put up any kind of numbers. But again, I'm not going to do a victory lap and dance because A&M lost.
Yeah,
And I'm not. I'm not like I don't because I just don't care enough. See that's my point. Like and I just don't care enough. Like that. That's the point I'm trying to make. Is that's why it's irrelevant to me. Like you know what I mean. Like whether
yeah,
the like Houston Texans, if they do well, great. Like that's great for that team and their fans. I just don't care enough. It's irrelevant to me. It's irrelevant to
yeah.
me that the
I give a
Texans do
damn.
well, or that or Texas A&M does well, or whatever, or that they fall. Like them losing doesn't make me happy. I really don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just it.
Other games that I was going to talk about before we get into the college football talk here. Other games that we're going to talk about were interesting. Like again, I watched that Packers and Bears game. That was a great game.
Yeah.
Packers had the Bears beat, man. All they had to do was catch that onside kick,
Hmm.
victory formation. You take a knee, you're done. Game over, bro. And they just did not catch that onside kick. They kind of fumbled the ball.
Yeah.
Bears recover. The rest is history. Bears score. They go ahead
Yeah.
and send the game into overtime. And then it's just, Bears at that point, they just were able to get the stops against the Packers. Caleb Williams throws a ball deep into the end zone. Touchdown. Yes, that dude. Game
Yeah.
over. Game over. The Bears, they completed the miraculous comeback. And like I said, it wasn't like a game that I'm like, oh my God, I gotta watch this game.
Hmm.
It's just like it was on the background. I was having some
Yeah.
fun with my
Yeah.
boys, and it was cool to watch. You don't got a dog in the
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah.
Another game that I was gonna go ahead and point out that was an interesting game too, because I was kind of out and about yesterday, and I winded up making it out to Pluckers with my little nieces there. And my little niece, she's funny, man. She's like 5, 6 years old. And she looks at me and she was like, "Look, Uncle, they got the Cowboys game on. I'm a Cowboys girl." I'm like, "Okay, baby, okay."
All right, I
So she's
like
there
you. I
watching the
like you.
game too. She's
Yeah,
putting at the screen. She knows what's up, So I'm like,
yeah,
all right.
yeah.
She's starting them. We're starting her young. She's
Got
already
to.
say
You
she's
got
a
to. I like it.
Cowboys fan.
I like
So
that.
we're watching the games. They had some interesting games on there. Um, one game to me that was interesting as well was how the Steelers and Lions game panned out, you know?
Hmm.
And then you had the Ravens game. And the Ravens and the Patriots game, that was a big
Yeah,
one because the
it
Ravens
was.
needed to win
Yes,
to stay
yes.
alive, and they still
And
are. They're not
they were
out yet,
up.
but they're
They
they're
they
they're on
were,
life
yeah, but
support.
right, but they were up at the end of that. They were up towards the
Yeah,
end of that game. I remember, like I said, I was watching the Spurs game, and in the other living room, I would kind of peek over, and I had the other the Patriots Ravens game on, and I looked at it one time, and the Ravens were up, and I told my son, like, "Damn, that's going to be a big win for the Ravens because they need it, you know." And then I like come back and I look at it again, and the score is the Patriots up, and I was like, "Wow!" Like, I like Vrabel, man. I really do, man. I like Vrabel and what he does. Um, I think good for them, man. Good for the Patriots.
yeah,
What's the kid's name? The quarterback, Maine, Drake Maine, right? Yeah, I like that
yeah.
kid. Yeah, it's funny. Mario Cavazza says that he realizes that um, a lot of Cowboys haters have family members that are Cowboys fans. That's why they hate the Cowboys. That's true. They hate their family, bro. They don't hate the Cowboys. That's what it is. Uh, it kind of reminds me of, you remember in the movie Big Daddy where there's like a guy walking and he's like, you hate your dad, not me. He's like, you're mad at your dad, and then that guy's like, yeah, I hate my father. It's kind of like that. Like people are mad at their family members,
Yeah.
not at the Cowboys, but
Hey, they
uh,
were asking Rick in the chat, Big Sean, PD
oh yeah, yeah. Oh
73OT.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
O2, yeah, yeah. He says, Rick, he
Oh,
goes, the
oh.
missus wanted to know where you get the Spurs cap that you often use.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. Real quick, and I hate to be a stickler. RIC. No, no K, please. But it's okay. Yeah, man. So this one right here, just straight up Fanatics. I do a lot of my Spurs shopping at Fanatics. They give a good
Yeah.
military discount. And what I like about it is they have these kind of like series of hats, which I mean, to me, like this is straight up a Cowboys color hat. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
blue and gray. Like it doesn't say it in the description that it's a Cowboys hat, but basically it is. You know what I mean? And so I have this one. I have the Longhorns kind of colors. So what I
Yeah, the
like
burnt
about it
orange.
is because I can, yeah, the burnt orange, and they have other colors. They have other colors. Don't get me wrong. So, um, he said the cup. The cup. Oh, this is a Bill Miller cup. Oh, you're talking about
Oh,
the
the
Spurs Cup.
cup.
Oh, you're talking about that other Spurs Cup that I
Oh,
have. I know
yeah,
what you're
yeah,
talking about.
yeah.
Yeah, that Spurs Cup is. I'm sorry, big dog. I thought you said cap, but
Yeah, I thought he said cat.
the cup that Spurs Cup is all, that's from the Spurs website, the fan shop, the fan shop. Yeah, that it's a cool cup. It's like a tumbler with like all the different Spurs logos. And um, but yeah, that's that one. That was from the fan shop. My bad, PD, Big Sean. But yeah, but again, the cup, the caps, you know what I'm saying? It's either Fanatics, the Spurs fan shop, uh, um, Lids has a lot of cool caps like this too. But yeah, the Spurs Cup was from the fan shop, Big Sean.
Yeah, make it down to the fan shop, man. They used to have the fan shop. I go to La Cantera, but I don't even know if I've visited the Spurs fan shop they used to have there. I don't even know it's
Yeah,
open anymore, dude. Because I know they have the one
I don't
opened up in
know.
the Frost Center.
Frostbank, yeah. You know what?
Yeah,
I don't think so. They used to have like an
yeah,
actual fan shop at La Cantera where an actual brick and mortar store and you'd
yeah.
walk in there and whatever. I feel like they don't have it no more, but I could be wrong. Somebody could correct me. I'm not too sure. I haven't been out to La Cantera in a while, but yeah, they definitely have the one at the fan shop. I mean, no, the Frostbank. That's open, even like it's open whenever like the arena's not open.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't know that. Like
Open
obviously it's
Monday
open
through
during the
Friday or through
yeah, yeah,
Saturday,
yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's open during the games, obviously, but even when the games are not on, you can just go to the fan shop part and walk right into that door, and they have all the stuff there. Man, bruh, I hate and love going in there because I want everything, dog.
You drop too
It's
much
like
money.
it's bro, exactly, bro. I want everything, dog. It's like you walk in there, bro. It's like the gates of heaven, dog. It's like what I
Oh
imagine
man.
heaven would be, dog. It's like, oh, you walk in there and there's every jersey, every shirt, every jacket, things that you don't see even like online. Like they got some exclusive stuff. They have like those Dickies collab where it's like a jacket and it's a Spurs stuff. Like,
Yeah.
bro, they have so much stuff there. And
They
yeah,
even have
man,
like
like
hockey jerseys that are Spurs
oh
themed,
yeah, yeah, that's what
those are
I'm
nice,
saying. They
like the
have
baseball
baseball
jerseys, dude.
jerseys,
Yeah,
like
man.
yeah, they have all this stuff, man. They have things that, like I said, you wouldn't see just in your local spot, you know. So yeah, for sure, for sure. But
I got
yeah,
a jacket there a while back, like maybe 2 years ago. Kids surprised me. They went into the fan shop, and my oldest son said, "Hey, dad, brought you a jacket." And I was like, "Oh, snap,
yeah,
dude. These things are expensive, dude. Like just a regular like little jacket, just like a warm-up jacket or something. It's like
oh
200
yeah,
bucks, 150, you know?
yeah,
Easy,
yeah,
dude. So you go in
yeah,
there and
yeah,
you want a jacket, you want a hat, you want man, by the time you get out of there, you already dropped 3 bills quick, real quick,
yeah. Oh, easy,
without even batting an
easy.
eye, bro.
Oh yeah, no, real talk, real talk. Yeah, Big Sean says he wants that teal Wemby jersey. I got that one. I like that one actually. That one's a
Yeah.
cool jersey, that teal one. We got a super chat by Matt Lerma,
Yeah,
our
man,
good
remember
friend,
coming in.
our good friend. Yeah.
Thanks, Matt. He says, "Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you both." He goes, "Rick and Joe and the entire chat, even JHNSB." Thank you, Matt. We appreciate it, man. Yeah, he's saying Mario for Cavasso is saying Fanatics, with the lids and caps, a lot of good Black
Yeah.
Friday discounts.
Yes, yes. No, that's real talk. Real talk. There's a lot of discounts on Fanatics and lids. Like I said, Fanatics gives a good discount to military and first responders and stuff like that. Um, Myra did point out that the fan shop does take a while to ship. I will say that when
Yeah,
you order it from the fan shop, I don't know why it does take a while. Bro, Fanatics, bro, it's there like the next day, and not even with like
yeah.
express shipping. Like I never pay for express shipping. Like I don't even I don't believe in express shipping, dog. Like it's such BS. Like if you could get it to me when you could, if you could get it to me in a day, then get it to me when you can get it to me. I don't need to pay another $20 for you to get it to me
Yeah.
tomorrow. So I
Usually
pay
comes
reg.
UPS or something,
Yeah, yeah.
like, come on.
I pay regular shipping, and Fanatics always comes within a day or two, bro. Like real talk.
Yeah, and then they send
So
you a tracking number y todo,
yeah,
so you
yeah,
already
yeah,
know, like, hey, where's it at? What time it's gonna be coming?
yeah,
All that kind of stuff. So I like that too,
yeah.
dude. But yeah, when you order from the fan shop from the Spurs, I don't know what the hell, dude. They
It
take
takes a
forever.
while for
You get
some
a
reason.
jersey,
Yeah.
dude, weeks.
Mhm.
You're gonna get it in weeks, you
Yeah,
know?
I don't know why. I really don't know why. Yeah, that is a little bit of an annoyance because yeah, man, you order stuff and it's kind of like, hey, you want it now, right? You want it when you want it. But
Before
no,
you go to the next game, dude, and it's not
mhm.
gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah. Fanatics, Mitchell and Ness always also has really, really good stuff. Mitchell
Yeah,
and Ness stuff is a
yeah.
little pricey though. I will say that, but a lot of those
It's good
shorts that I
stuff.
wear and that I have, those are like they're like $100 shorts, man. But man, I'll tell you the quality and they'll last you forever. So Mitchell and Ness is another good one, and they have a lot of like old school stuff at Mitchell and Ness. Like I said, it's a little pricey, but it's a good quality and it'll last you. So yeah, man. I like I said, I love the different color collabs. Like obviously like Spurs or like black and silver and like Fiesta, but like this like blue Cowboys colors is pretty hard. Like I said, I got the Longhorns one. I'm sure they got colors like for A&M or whatever. They have different colors
Yeah,
for these different hats. Like I said, for me, I like it because I can rock my Cowboys gear and then I can always still rock my Spurs. So no
yeah.
matter what I'm doing, I still got the Spurs. So um,
Fashion tips by Rick. Slick
I'm
Rick.
telling you exactly. Fashion tips, dating tips, bro. We got it all, bro. We got it all here, bro. You gotta coordinate. You remember that? You remember that? You gotta coordinate, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. Oh, Myra says, here we go.
Oh,
Exactly.
no, man.
Fashion tips, dating tips, how to make Twitter the best dating
Twitter
app
101.
ever. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you.
Hey,
I'm
man,
telling
real
you.
talk, bro. Remember this? They used to have this. I remember a long time back in the day. I think it used to come out on VH1. It was like a reality show. And they had
Uh-huh.
this one guy that was like a gigolo kind of dude, like
Uh-huh.
he was a ladies' man. And they had like a reality show based on him and his book because he had wrote a book like how to pick up girls at the bar
Uh-huh.
or
Uh-huh.
whatever. And they would follow him around and he would go in there and he would be like, he's a pickup artist, right? So he was in there trying to go ahead and give these guys, the 101, the hey
Yeah,
man,
yeah,
you want
yeah,
this
yeah,
girl,
yeah.
this is how you get her, blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
yeah, yeah,
That's what
yeah,
that
yeah,
reminds me of, dude. But it was like for
yeah.
like a reality show. It didn't last very long, but I thought it was
Uh-huh,
funny because he
uh-huh.
would take these guys that had no chance, and then he would kind of turn them around and tell them how to get the
Oh
girl at the
man.
bar or whatever, and they walk out with the girl. So there you go, man.
I
That's
mean,
what that reminded me of.
That's the thing too, bro. Myra says fashionista over here. Um, Rick's Guide to Fashion Sports. Yeah, exactly. I mean, hey, look, man, you got, again, man, it's a whole thing, bro. The glasses, the shades, the hat, the coordination, bro.
Oh
Like
man.
the bling, dog. Like, you know what I mean, bro? It's all a thing, bro. It's all a thing. I'm telling you, man. And so that all goes in hand with that whole conversation we're having about
Yeah.
the dating and about how to, make Twitter a dating app. I got a lot of crap actually. I got a lot of back blow, by the way, after that, because people were like, because I said, hey, buy her a coffee and all that. That's the foot in the door, gentlemen. Like that's not the end all
Rest
be
up
all.
to
Like
you,
like
man.
like yeah, yeah, don't yeah. I don't know if I didn't make that clear that day or not, but I got a bunch of tweets and a bunch of texts about like, hey, you're
Oh
misleading
my
people,
god.
and I'm like, hold on, I'm like. My advice is just how to get into the door. Like you got to keep yourself there, bro. And there's other ways to keep yourself there,
You can lead
which
a
are
horse to water,
which
but you can't
yeah,
make him
yeah.
drink, bro, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, exactly, exactly. So going back to my point, when you got the style, the gear, the flash, the riz, that's the stuff that keeps you going when you do the whole, hey, let me buy you a coffee and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It goes hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? It can't just be. It's
You
not a
all get this for
standalone
free
thing.
without the
It's
super
not.
chat.
It's not a standalone thing. Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Oh man.
Exactly.
So let's go ahead and get into some football talk real quick. College football. I just want to give a quick once over of the standings, man, see where everything's at. And then we're gonna go ahead and get into this long Spurs discussion here, man. So we are gonna talk Spurs. I know it's what everybody's waiting
Mm-hmm.
on. So just hold
Mm-hmm.
on.
Mm-hmm.
College
Mm-hmm.
football, man. Playoffs
Yeah.
started on over the weekend.
Yeah.
JMU and Oregon, man. We already knew it was about to happen. JMU, shout out to my nephew. That's his college. That's where he goes. I was kind of rooting for the underdog, but I knew it was going to happen in the end. Sure enough,
Bro. Mm-hmm.
Oregon move on. So Oregon's going to
Yeah.
be facing Texas Tech. Alabama, OU, you kind of knew it was going to happen in that one too. Alabama
Yeah.
moves on. They're going to go ahead and face Indiana University there. So good on them. Tulane had no business, man, in there with Ole Miss. They got shellacked, bro. It was
Mm-hmm.
an
Mm-hmm.
ass whooping. Ole Miss gonna go up against Georgia. In this game, I was watching Miami and Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
And this one I was watching because I had it on at the bar at PF Chang's when I was out there with my boy just hanging out. And we're watching it, and me and him were talking about it, and we're like, it's gonna come down to quarterback play. Because if
Mm-hmm.
both teams have a really good defense, I knew it was gonna be low scoring. It was gonna be an ugly win. It was gonna be an ugly game. At the end of the day, the University of Miami, their quarterback just came in clutch. And
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately for Texas A&M, poor decision making. And it was sad the way that game ended, man. You don't throw into double coverage, man. They had like 4 white jerseys, and you had your one receiver in the mix there. What do you think was going to happen? That was it. And the sad thing was that's how the game ended. They were right there in the red zone, man. They were like fourth and 1, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All they had to do is basically run the ball in, you good. You give yourself
Yeah.
a chance. And they just threw the ball away like that. Interception. Yeah, that was it. That's how the game ended.
Yeah.
Disappointing season for Texas A&M. I'm sure that their fans thought they were going to be moving on. It's not to
Mm-hmm.
be. This is actually going to be a good matchup coming up against the University of Miami and Ohio State. Both teams
Mm-hmm.
have great defenses, man. It's going to be a low scoring game. It's going to be an ugly game, but I think Ohio ultimately has the better team. And I think Ohio's going to go ahead and move on. And it's going to probably be another low scoring game, another 7 to
Mm-hmm.
10, something like that. But Ohio ultimately is going to be moving on. The Texas Tech game and Oregon, that's going to be interesting to me. If I have to go ahead and pick a team to move on, I got to tell you, man, I think Oregon might be able to get the once over on Texas Tech, man. That's just me. So there's some matchups here that are interesting to me. It's going to be another good weekend of college
Yeah.
football matchups. So I look forward to seeing that.
Yeah, I think this weekend, this part of the bracket is gonna start getting good. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the college football games are
Real
gonna start getting
matchups,
good.
you know?
Yeah, yeah. We had a lot of those kind of like, you know, just beat. big teams beating up on little teams and all that kind of stuff. Mismatches. I get there. You go. The word I'm trying to find. Mismatches. We had a lot of mismatches in those early games. We had a lot of low scoring games. I think this round is where you're really going to start getting good. You're going to start separating yourselves, right? The
Yeah.
Georgias, the Ohio States, those the Oregons, those teams are going to start separating themselves. If they really want to be big programs, they should. And I will say this about A&M, and I got no hate for A&M. Funny story is when I when my when I enlisted in the Marines, and then after a while I ended up doing the officer program, right, at the University of Texas. I actually looked at both schools. I looked at A&M and I looked at UT. Like I was looking at, because I wanted to just come back to Texas. That was my goal. So whenever you go to these programs, they both have military ROTC programs. Obviously, A&M has a Corps of Cadets, famous. UT doesn't have a big ROTC program, but they still have an ROTC program. But I mean, Austin, College Station, it just for me, UT was the better fit. But I looked at both schools. I looked at A&M. I
Yeah.
looked at UT when I was figuring out where I wanted to go for the Navy Marine ROTC program for my college. And so I got people. I don't know. People think that I don't like A&M. That's not the case. Like I don't. Again, I really don't care. Like it's kind of like not a. It's not a thing for me. Like they're not on my mind. So I have no problem with A&M. They had a great season. They were undefeated, right? A lot of the season. That they have a lot to hang their hat on. So good for them and good for their fans. I have a lot of fans on my Twitter, or I have a lot of people on my Twitter that are A&M fans. And I respect them. I love the fandom. I love people anybody who's crazy about their team. I'm all about it, man. I got some Georgia people on my Twitter feed that are cool with me, and they're big Georgia fans. And I gained a lot of those followers when I went to the Georgia Texas game because with a good friend of mine. But yeah, again, point I'm trying to make is, A&M had a great year. They should have beat that Miami team though. I feel like they should have. I really do. They didn't show up, unfortunately. The score was pretty low. It was a Miami. They played into Miami's hands in that game, but it's going to be interesting. I'm still excited, man. I know it's not a college football or a playoff, but the Texas Michigan bowl game is going to be fun, man. I'm excited about that game, bro. That's on New Year's Eve, the 31st, Texas versus Michigan. That's gonna be a big game. It's gonna be a good one. So I got some Michigan fans that are friends. So I'll probably link up with them down in San Diego. There's a bar down there. And called Dirty Birds, a wing place. If you ever go out to San Diego, it's one of the best wing spots. And so Dirty Birds down in Liberty Station in San Diego. So I think I'm gonna meet up with some of my Michigan peeps, rocking on my UT stuff to go watch that Texas Michigan game. So college football's fun, man. No matter what your team is or if they're in, if they're not. I would have loved for Texas to be in, obviously, but I'm not gonna cry over it because, like I said in this show before, Texas has nobody to blame but themselves for not being in there. No shade on any of the teams that made it, A&M, so on and so forth. But it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, Joe. Like you said.
Yeah, man. So you're a college football fan. You're gonna be watching it. Well, I really don't got a dog in the fight. So, like I said, I'll probably watch it casually. I'm at a bar. I'm with my boys. We're drinking. We're having a good time. The games are on. Yeah, we'll glance up and watch them. But it's not like I'm rooting for any team. You know what I mean? I'll
Yeah,
just
yeah,
watch them on his background. Yeah, just to
sure.
have it on in the background. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
we'll see what happens. I'm sure there's gonna
yeah,
be some good matchups here and some disappointments. So
yeah,
so
yeah.
you're a college football fan, this is your time to shine. You're gonna like
Oh
this.
yeah,
And I'm
you
sure
love this
people are
time of
gonna
year.
bet on the games and make some
Well,
money, you
yeah,
know?
and that's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. I was gonna say the way you get a dog in a fight is put that money down, baby.
Yeah,
If you start
money
putting
line,
money
baby.
in, yeah, if you start putting money, then you will have a dog in the fight. You know what I mean? You got that green. You got that green in the fight, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, after this Christmas holiday, bro, I need to get some money back, bro. You know what I'm saying? I need to get some money back. You know how it is, Joe. You got
Yeah.
nieces, and bro, you start throwing down all that Christmas gifts, dog. God damn,
Yep.
bro. It ain't like back in the day, bro, where it was just like one gift or whatever, bro. There's multiple gifts that are given out to your loved ones. But yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Shout
My
out
my
to
nieces had me spending money this weekend. Little
oh
girl's
yeah,
something else, dude. They like hanging out with uncle, they wanna go out, they wanna shop, they wanna go eat, they wanna do the whole bit, they want Dutch Bros, they
Dutch
want
Brothers.
everything, man. Everything, bro. Brothers, yeah, dude.
Yeah,
They want it
yeah.
all, dude. And I'm just like, damn. As soon as I pick them up, they're like, Uncle, we all want Dutch Bros. I'm like, damn, these little girls, $30, dude.
Yeah,
every
yeah.
single time. 30, $38 out the
Yeah,
door.
hey, Joe. You know what? One of these days they're gonna say they're gonna grow up, right? They're gonna grow up, right? They're
Yeah.
gonna grow up, obviously, whatever, right? They're gonna grow up. They're gonna start dating and all that, and then they're gonna say, "Hey, if you can't take care of me the way my Uncle Joe took care of me, don't talk to me." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's gonna be the legacy, brother. They're gonna say, "Look, my Theo Joe had me this way. You better
Yeah.
not think I'm gonna accept anything less." You know.
Yeah. Exactly, man.
Yeah,
One of my
Myra says the Dutch brothers, exactly.
Yeah, one of my friends says, she says, "You're responsible for the little monsters you create." It's like if you spoil
Yes,
the heck out of
yes,
them like that, then
yes,
they're gonna
yeah.
expect everyone else to do the same thing.
That is
So I
true.
get it.
That is very true. Yeah, yeah, exactly. You can't complain about the monsters we create, right, Myra?
Yep, exactly, man.
Right, Myra? I can't complain about the monster that I created. So, yeah.
Yeah, we got a
Yeah,
serious
man.
chat coming in here from Jason Garcia. We'll read that here in a bit as soon as I see it here. Here it is, man.
Oh, there it is. Cool.
Here comes the money.
So Jason says, "How about an old school grito for his Seahawks up at the top of the NFC? It's a nice view from up here." He goes, "Go Spurs, go hook 'em, go Hawks, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's to all, man." Thank you, Jason, so much. And he's out there in Portland in the great
Hmm.
Northwest, man.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
thank you for that. And we'll give him the old man grito because I mean he paid for it. So that's what he's gonna.
Hey, pay for it. You got it, bro.
Por presumir a mis amigos les conté que en el amor
Yeah, so that was for Jason and for his Seahawks moving forward. He wanted that old school grito. And I got to do my boy Elias like this too, because this is the way all Cowboy fans were feeling, after that other loss
Mm,
against the Chargers. Hey, man, it is what it is, dude. We got to move on and look to next season. Next year, what do they say, Rick? Next year's our year.
next year's our year. I know, I know, I
And
know.
speaking
Our
of
boy,
your year
our,
coming in, let's talk about some San Antonio Spurs basketball, right? So San Antonio Spurs, man, they're on a 6-game win streak, right? They went ahead and beat the Washington Wizards yesterday. Final score 124, 113. It's a little too close for comfort, because the Spurs
mhm.
were up by 24 at one point. But, credit to the Wizards. They kind of fought their way back in, made it interesting. Spurs still found a way to win. That's the interesting part here. Sometimes a team will go on a run. It's a given, and that's what happened here. They were able to sustain the run and they found a way to win. So that's the important thing. Spurs keep the win streak going on, and they move on and beat the Wizards 124 to 113. We had some help too because Houston actually lost, so that was good. And you
Mhm.
had some other teams lose, like Denver Nuggets. So at the end of the day, what happens to the San Antonio Spurs as far as where they're standing currently in the NBA? And lo and behold, if you're a Spurs fan, you woke up and you're like, man, look at this team. After they were hovering around 4, maybe 5, throughout the season, 4, 5, 4, 5. And it was like one game that maybe separated like 4 all the way through 5, or 3 through 5. And now the San Antonio Spurs are only second to the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Western Conference standings. If you're waking up today, San Antonio is number 2 at 21-7, baby. Look at that. Denver Nuggets fall to number 3, Lakers at number 4, the Minnesota Timberwolves at number 5, and the Rockets, they drop down to number 6. So there you go, man. San Antonio Spurs, you're a Spurs fan, you got something to cheer about. And not only that, but you're looking at what's happening. You have the evolution of a three-headed monster coming out right now.
Mhm.
You have Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, all three playing great, playing the wing great. Guard play is great. I mean, everything's looking good right now. And this is without Wemby getting those minutes that he's accustomed to. They're still acclimating Wemby to coming back in. They don't want to rush him. They still got him coming off the bench. Mitch Johnson has already gone and told the media, there's not any rush. There's not any timetable that he's working with. When he's ready, and they're wanting to get him his conditioning back up. He's been out for a little bit, he's coming back in now. Wemby doing his Wemby things out there, looking good. But in his absence, I think the injury to Wemby was a blessing in disguise for the San Antonio Spurs team because it taught them one important thing: how to play together as a team. And one of the most instrumental signings that this team has had in the offseason, and you can't discount that, man, is Luke Cornett, the big elote. He's been huge for this team moving forward. A big part of why this San Antonio Spurs team is looking so good early on in the season. Having that backup center is huge. We didn't have that in the past because in the past, they probably would have run out Sohan at some point as a center, playing a center position, undersized, really doesn't have the skill set to play a center because that's not his forte. But having Luke Cornett, the big elote out there, has been the difference maker in some of these games. You got to look at him. You look at Harrison Barnes. You look at the other pieces that they have here. You're looking at that second unit with Keldon Johnson. This is a very well-balanced team. And when Wemby finally is going to be inserted into that starting lineup and he's part of that starting five, the team's only going to get better. Can you imagine having Luke Cornett now? You see what he can do now in the starting five. When he comes off of that bench, the bench is only going to get better. That's going to be scary, man, because you have Cornett and then you have Keldon Johnson holding the fort down, when the starters are getting some rest and still be able to either sustain a lead or just keep it. That's great, man. So I'm excited about this San Antonio Spurs fan. You got to ask the question right now, Rick. When you're looking at San Antonio and its, rise right now in the West, is the San Antonio Spurs is currently constructed, the biggest threat to OKC? What do you think?
Yeah. So again, it's a beautiful sight to see that number two spot that the Spurs are holding, and the Rockets are down there, and Dallas is in the third column. Because at the start of the season, I even heard Spurs fans say, "Well, we're not as good as the Rockets and Dallas, and we may be a play-in, and we may, Spurs fans saying that, right? So it's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing to see the Spurs at that two seed right behind OKC, who, hey, look, man, I get it, man. They're 25-3, respect to them, but something's got to give, man. They're gonna start to lose some games, bro. You know what I mean? They're gonna start to lose some games. The Spurs got a win on them in the cup, which is amazing. So it's not like the Spurs fear them, like, oh, we can't even hang with them. Like, they beat them in a neutral arena in Vegas. They're gonna have a home game tomorrow, right? Versus
Yeah.
OKC, and then in Christmas Day, you're going to be in Oklahoma playing them. So a 1-1 split isn't out of the question for the Spurs. They just show that they're on that elite level. Um, it's I think, and somebody said it in the chat. I think it was July 9326 made a very good point that the Spurs show that they can play without Victor, but can the Thunder play without SGA? I think when it comes to a championship team or a team that's going to go deep into the playoff run. Every team has stars. Ever since the beginning of time, every team has had stars. Even Dr. J, Magic, Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas. You could go on and on. Michael Jordan, obviously, Shaq and Kobe, Tim Duncan. Um, every team has stars, but it's about those others, like you said, Joe, the others, right? Those other pieces, right? You have to have those other pieces. If you just have a team of a star, like LeBron's early years when he was at the Cavs, where it was just LeBron, it was, and credit to him for even taking that Cavs team to the finals, and when they got swept by the Spurs, but in '07. But point is, you got to have more than just a star. You have to. There's no if, ands, or buts. Like, yes, you can have a star, you can have a two stars, but those extra players, those others, right? And you've seen it in years. Guys like Mario Elie, Robert Ory, Steve Kerr, they're not stars. They're not all stars, but they're those extra pieces that have to show up and do things for the team. So guys like Harrison Barnes are doing it for the Spurs. The big elote, Cornette is doing it. Keldon off the bench. I love that Keldon has found his role because when it's all said and done, and we've kind of already everybody's circling around the fact, or not the fact, but the opinion that Jeremy is probably done in San Antonio. Like it seems like it, and I like Jeremy, I do. But maybe he'll be maybe it's a win-win for both. Maybe he'll do better in another
Yeah,
team. Maybe he'll thrive at another team, and that's fine. But he just doesn't have a role here anymore, and so it is what it is. It's a business at the end of the day too. So, but either way though,
But we're not.
either way, you gotta show those others that are going to show up and do things. So Keldon, I like that he's found his role, because if Keldon would have been stubborn and said, "No, I want to be a starter. I've been here from the beginning." Like, you got to remember, Keldon is the longest tenured Spur, which is crazy to think. He's been through all the tough times with the Spurs and all that. So him finding his role off the bench and doing it well is a beautiful thing to see. So yeah. People are talking about the difference between SGA and Wemby. That yeah, they're totally different players. They're totally
yeah.
different frames and size builds.
Different
I'm
skill
just
sets, man.
different skill sets. I'm just talking about. I'm not comparing them like head to head. I'm saying
Yeah.
like star for star. Like, if one star goes down, does the Thunder have enough without their star? If the Spurs star goes down, do they have enough without their star? That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not comparing
Yeah.
them. That's ridiculous to compare them like pound for pound. Like it's not a
Yeah.
thing.
I
But
wanted
but
to highlight this, Rick, real quick. What Wemby has done, right? And they went ahead. The San Antonio Spurs, they put this up there on their X. It says only two players in NBA history have 3,000 plus points, 500 plus assists, with 100 blocks in their first 135 games. Michael Jordan and Victor Wembanyama. But look at the amount of
pretty,
blocks. Michael Jordan
pretty
had
good company.
140, and Victor Wembanyama had 483 blocks already, dude. Damn.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
the
size
size of
difference.
Wemby
Yeah,
versus,
man.
yeah, Jordan. Like, so I mean, of course, Wemby's gonna have more blocks than Michael Jordan, but
But that's good
yeah,
company, though. You know.
it's a good company. It's good company, of course, yeah. At the end of the day, what I like about this team is they're able to win without Wemby. Like that.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, and again, this isn't. See, people take every little word and take every little thing and twist it. This ain't shade on Wemby. This ain't saying he's not generational. This ain't not. I'm just
He don't
saying,
matter.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Or I remember, or people to try to say like, "Oh, are the Spurs better without Wemby?" Like, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying though, there's 82 games. There's a whole season. You got to be able to win without your star. Like, you have to. If you can't win without your star, any team, whether it's the Joker, whether it's SGA, whether it's Giannis, whether it's Wemby, if a team cannot win without their star, then their numbers eventually going to get pulled. Right? They're not going to be able to keep going.
What
That
happens
stat
if your
without.
star goes down in the playoffs, man, and you're in a
Right, right,
heated battle? You know,
exactly.
you got a
Right,
game
right.
5 that really
Yeah,
matters,
yeah,
and
yeah,
this is gonna be
exactly.
usually people that, teams that win the 5th game, right? Or that 6th game will
Hmm,
go on more
hmm.
than not to win the series, right?
Sure, sure,
So
sure.
you're
You
in a
get the
heated
leg up.
battle, man, and you
Yeah,
need your boy out there. He goes down.
yeah,
Who's gonna pick up that helm? Who you
yeah.
gonna trust, you know?
Right. Yeah. So Fox is clutch, right? Fox is doing what he was brought in to do, Mr. Fourth Quarter. Fox around and find out, you know what I'm saying? So he's doing his thing. Um, the Slash brothers with Castle and Harper are doing their thing. Harper didn't have a good game yesterday, but it's bound to happen. It's not a big deal. Um, but their defensive prowess as the guards is huge. I mean, a lot of people thought that the trio of Fox, Harper, and Castle wasn't going to work. Bro, it's beautiful. Like, there's always at least one, if not two of them on the court, all 48 minutes. So it's a great problem to have three-headed monster like that. Um, but again, then you got guys like Harrison Barnes and Cornette, and
Yeah.
that's the key. The key is those extras, those others that are gotta show up. Like I said, man, this is a star-driven league. I got it. The stars are the stars, but you don't win championships without the Robert Ory's, without the Steve Kerrs, without the Mario Ellie's. You know what I mean? Without those, the Bruce Bowens, without those extra guys who are not stars, they're not all stars,
They
but
can't all
just
be
do their
starters,
job.
brother.
Yeah, yeah, they just do their job and do what they're supposed to do. So,
Hey
yeah.
man, we got to give a shout out here to you too. But Tom Osborne was
Mhm.
talking. He has went ahead and put a little quote out from Mitch Johnson, and he was kind of saying that Mitch says on Wemby that he's going to continue to play limited minutes off the bench.
Mhm.
That's not going to change, I guess. And he's saying the season's long and grueling, so it's not like day 5 of this or a day whenever whatever of that. It's a treacherous schedule. So
Hmm.
we will continue to take it day by day. So it means that Wemby's going to be coming off the bench for the foreseeable future until Coach Mitch feels
Hmm.
like, okay, let's go ahead and finally unleash Wemby and let him, get his run again. I can see why they're doing that, because if you bring him back too early, what if he gets hurt again? And
Hmm.
that's the one thing they're trying to avoid. They know how important he is to the team. They need him out there healthy, man. He's still
Yeah.
getting his reps in. He's still getting his body conditioned. The Spurs are still continuing to win. Why why
That's the
why
key.
change it?
That's
You
the
know?
key, Joe. That's the key,
Yeah.
Joe. That's what I was gonna say. They're winning. Like they're
Yeah.
winning. Like if they weren't winning, then maybe I can see an argument. But if they're
Yeah.
winning, then why not? Now I
Why
will
change the
say,
formula? You know what I
right,
mean?
right, exactly, exactly. You're right. And what I will say though is against OKC, they might start Wemby. I don't know. We'll see. I'm curious to
Yeah.
see what they do. But you're right. They're winning. That's the point. Like they're winning these games. So to sit here and say like, oh well, Wemby coming off the bench is costing the Spurs. How? How if they're winning? Like so that can't be right now
Yeah.
I would like to see Wemby come off start against this Thunder, against Chet and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. I would like to see that. Shout out to my guy Tony Morales from Mexico, man. Good to see you in the chat, brother.
Yeah,
Um,
dude. That dude's always representing, man.
he is always representing, man. And I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you coming in from Mexico and joining our chat, man. You're a
Oh,
real
look
one,
it.
big dog.
We got Fake Killer over here. He's saying, what is he saying? He's saying, Joe, sign the apology form. Why? Why? I told you at the
Joe,
beginning of the season, I
Joe,
said, I'm gonna give your boy
Joe.
20 games. 20 games, couldn't stay healthy. He's hurt. He's coming back from injury, looking good. Why am I gonna sign the apology form? Why? I'll give him another 20. Do this. We'll give him another 20. He can stay healthy and he can put up numbers. Spurs keep on winning. I'll sign the
Joe.
apology form.
Oh, come on,
Is he gonna
Joe.
stay healthy for 20 more games? Who knows? But I'm gonna enjoy the
Yeah,
ride for what
come
I
on,
can
Joe.
for while I can right now.
Yeah, come on,
That's all I'm
Joe.
saying. But you know what? We got to give you a shout out, man, because you know what? This happened last night, right? During the context of the game itself, and you got a shout out, dude, from your boy
It
over
was
here. So let's listen to it.
It's about to be almost 10 years since then.
Shout out to my guy Russ Fernandez, who serves in our armed forces, so we appreciate him for his service. Big Spurs fan who lives out in San Diego. Love it. And it's been really, really kind to me since I came into the family. So I'll always appreciate everyone that's been so nice and welcoming, like you yourself.
There you go. Give you a shout out on air.
That was cool. That you know what, man, and you can hear my son. My son is like, "Whoa, whoa!" Like they didn't realize what was going on. I started to record it, and I didn't say anything to them, and they're watching the game, and it's during a timeout or something. So my boys are all on their chat on their phones, and we're all doing our thing. But my youngest son Ethan was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" Like he was like, "What's going on here?" That was cool. That was really cool. So, it was like the Spurs trivia thing where they asked like who was the last American born player to win the MVP, which is James
Yeah.
Harden. Like that's like, easy. And so when I put the thing James Harden or whatever, and then told Jacob went on about not only did he say hey he got it right, he went
Yeah.
on and said hey I appreciate your your military service and all that kind of stuff. So again you got you got people like real Bobby still talking about Jacob is fruity and go have another shake with him. Like man, I know I'm
Why,
telling you man, I
dude?
know y'all hate it. I know y'all hate to see it, bro. I know you do. Hey, I know you hate it, dog. I don't know, like get real, get right with your own family or your own personal problems instead of projecting stuff on Jacob saying he's fruity or me because of a milkshake.
Why
Like
does it
that's
matter, dude?
crazy. That's
It's
crazy.
like
Yeah,
you just
it's
you were
crazy.
just talking with
But
the dude. You just
but
met him,
it's
y'all were
yeah,
having a
dog. But
good
it's
time,
like I
dude.
said, yeah, like I said, man, it's all good, man. Like I said, if you're that insecure about yourself, talking about Jacob Toby being fruity and milkshakes, like, bro, that's ridiculous, right? It really is. But either way, again,
Look
sorry
at
you're
Greg.
miserable, Bobby. But it's
Look
I
what
miss
Greg
Michelle
is
Beadle.
saying.
Oh my God, Michelle Beadle is so awesome, man. Michelle Beadle is so awesome. She's great. Ran into her in Vegas. I gave her the belt. She put it on. All that good stuff. It was awesome. Real Bobby saying, "Worry about yourself." You're talking about me, dog. Like I'm not worried about you. Like you're talking about me, big dog. Like so. But no,
No,
Michelle
man.
Beadle was awesome. Gave her the belt, man. She held it. No big deal. We had a couple of texts back and forth. No issue. Not a big deal.
That's cool.
Just
She liked
Michelle
the
B.
belt though.
Oh, dude, she loved the belt, dude. She loved the belt.
That's
She loved the
cool.
belt so much, man. I gave it to her. She put it on her shoulder, and it was awesome, man. So
And
Michelle
she
Beadle
recognized you.
isn't, yeah. Michelle Beadle isn't fruity. You know what I'm saying? Like so. You know what I mean? Michelle Beadle isn't, so yeah, she
Yeah.
did. She did actually, man. I was actually surprised because she said, I feel like we've met each other before, and this kind of stuff. And so I showed her a picture of us. We met in LA a couple of years or a few years ago, and she was like, "Oh my God, we were so young," and so she was so cool, awesome person, and just always representing the Spurs, man. She's an amazing ambassador for the Spurs. So yeah,
I
good
was
to see Michelle Beadle out there.
I was gonna show this too because this is the thing about the Rockets, right? On paper, the Houston Rockets have a really good team, but the problem with the Rockets is just as Clutch Points has pointed
Yeah,
out, and that's the discrepancy from the Rockets being where they're at in the in the Western Conference standings, and the Spurs being at number 2.
yeah.
And their 9 losses this season, 8 games in clutch time, right? They're 1-4 in overtime with 3 OT losses in their last 4 games,
You know
and
what that
the
you know what that is. You know what that
they
is. And
can't close, bro.
as much as I'm not a fan of this guy, they miss Fred VanVleet. They
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 do,
they
man.
miss they miss a point guard. And again, I'm not a Fred Van Vliet fan, honest. That's a tongue twister. I'm not a Fred Van Vliet fan. I
Yeah,
don't care for the guy, but I will say that the Rockets miss Fred Van Vliet. They miss his uh point guard skills out there. They miss his timing of the game. They miss his clock management. That's what I think is the difference. They do miss that guy.
yeah,
So
and that's
so
the key
again,
right there, Rick, that separates right now the
yeah.
Spurs and the Rockets. It's being
Yeah.
able to finish, and last year,
Last year
what
we
would we
would
have
Spurs
seen?
couldn't finish.
They
Right,
couldn't,
right.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we know all about that, and it's frustrating, right? When you see
Mhm.
that you have a good team on paper, but they
Mhm.
just can't put it together. And I think that's what's
Yeah.
happening with the Rockets right now,
Yeah.
is that on
Yeah.
paper, they
Yeah.
look good, right? But
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
actual game
Yeah.
scenario, in a real world
Yeah.
situation, they're having trouble closing games. And that's why
Yeah.
they've dropped a couple like that. They've
Yeah.
dropped a lot of these
Yeah.
closer games that they had
Yeah.
in crunch time because they have trouble closing. And the
Yeah.
Spurs
But
have the opposite issue, which they had last season
yes.
where they
Yes.
couldn't close. And their game was like, within 1 point, 3 points.
Sure.
Sometimes they would fold.
Sure.
We saw
Sure.
that, and it was and on full display when they were playing against the Pelicans, right?
Yeah.
That
Mhm.
Pelicans game, that was scary. The Spurs almost lost that game, but they
Mhm.
somehow found ways to win. And instead of
Tho-
just, hey man, we're just gonna give up.
yeah.
We're not gonna be able to close out the game. They're finding ways to win.
Those are games that they would have lost last year and the year before. And that's the thing. Like the Spurs the last couple of years had a couple of moral victories, quote unquote, where they were like, oh, they were close, but they would always kind of find a way to lose at the end. They couldn't close the games,
Yeah.
and that's the difference this year. This year, they have leads, they blow them, they find a way to still eke it out, and at the end of the day, a win's a win. This isn't college football where the wins are weighted a certain way. Like now, don't get me wrong. Like, yes, I would love the Spurs to blow out. I wish the Spurs would have blown out the Wizards yesterday. So guys like Carter Bryant could have got some run. Jeremy Sohan, guys, bench guys could have got in there and played. But it ended up being like a 10, 13 point game. So they kept, playing with the starters. So, but yes, at the end of the day, like last year, the Spurs would have lost those close games. Like they really would have,
Facts.
and July 9326 it says 5'8" Fred Van Vliet is missed. I mean, I know he's not 5'8", but I think you're taking a shot at him. Listen, man, you know what? I love those guys, man. I love guys like Jalen Brunson and Fred Van Vliet that are
Mm.
5'8", quote unquote, that are out there doing amazing things. They're doing things that they shouldn't be because they're in a league with players that are 6'5", 6'8", 7'4". It shows the heart and the determination of somebody who is 6 foot or 5'8", as you like to call him, that is out there doing it. It's like life. We are against all odds, but some of us make it. Some of us make
Yeah.
it past all odds. We don't let things hold us down because we're 5'8" or because we're this or we're that. Like we break those glass barriers and pass that. So to throw shade at somebody that because they're a smaller guy or whatever, like that's funny to me because to me,
I
I think
think
it's more impressive that he's that small and he's in the NBA.
Yeah, I think it's like Tony Ornelas says, too. A lot of people hate Fred Van Fleet because of, when Toronto won, he infamously
Yeah,
said F pop,
yeah,
so that left a
yeah.
bad taste in Spurs
Yeah.
fans' mouth,
Oh, I get that. Oh,
Yeah,
and that's why the first thing I said was I don't like Fred Van Vliet. I don't
yeah.
know if anybody heard
Oh, yeah,
that.
yeah.
I said, I
Got that.
said, I said, I don't like that guy. I go, but being objective, I do think that the Rockets are missing him. They're missing a point guard
That
that
point guard. Yeah.
is running the offense and all that. Yeah, I don't like the guy. Yeah, I know he said F pop and I know all that. And so I don't care for Brett Ramley. Like, F that guy. I get that. I'm just talking from a basketball standpoint, not an emotional, I don't like the guy, from a, hey, they are missing him and his point guard abilities on the court.
And look at this. I like this one. Fake killer. He's saying, and people were crying that we didn't get KD. I remember that
Yeah.
too, man. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
was like, you know
Oh, yeah.
what? KD, I think, would have fit in with the team, but at the end of the day, I don't think the team would have been as good as they are right now with some of the pieces that they have around Wemby. With the advent of Devin Vassell playing really well, you have Stephon Castle come in and just having a great, great season so far, and even Dylan Harper, man, just going out there and shining right out the gate.
Yeah.
Like if you would have had KD, you might have not had this trio that you have out there on display
That's
right
very
now.
true. That's
You
very
know?
true. That's very true. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
things
No, I
happen for
mean,
reasons, things
they
happen
do.
for a reason.
They do. They do.
Hey,
They really
let's look
do.
at these numbers right here, Rick. This is something I wanted to showcase, just to show how well the Spurs are doing thus far in the season. This is coming straight from the NBA on X, and they said the surging Spurs, the San Antonio Spurs, 21-7, have won 6 straight regular season games. They said climbing into second place in the Western Conference. They said each victory has featured a different leading scorer: Harrison Barnes, Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, Dylan Harper, Victor Wembanyama, De'Aaron Fox. The streaks include a win over Oklahoma City Thunder in the Emirates Cup NBA semifinals. The Spurs' opponent for their next 2 games, they're going to go ahead and be meeting who? The Oklahoma City
OKC.
Thunder coming up
Yeah.
23rd, and then they're going to play
And
them on
25th.
Christmas Day as well. This
Mm-hmm.
is going to be a matchup that I think, even if you're not a Spurs fan, even if you're not like an OKC fan, this is a matchup that's exciting if you're a basketball fan,
Oh,
because you're
yeah.
going to want to see number 1 and number 2 go at it, and knowing that the history that these 2 teams
Mm-hmm.
have,
Mm-hmm.
and that the Spurs just beat the unbeatable
Yeah.
Oklahoma City Thunder in the Emirates Cup. You don't
Yeah.
think OKC is going to be out for revenge, even though they're without Chet, right? Because he had injury. He might not
Mm-hmm.
he's not going to play in this game, I don't believe. This is still a meaningful matchup, and it's
Yeah.
going to be exciting to watch. And you get to watch them twice, back to
Mm-hmm.
back. This is going to mean something, and you best believe that OKC is going to be coming into San Antonio with the chip on their shoulder, and they're going to want to
Oh, yeah.
show we're better than this team. And the Spurs, they're going to have a battle. And I think if the Spurs can win on their own home court, man, this is going to be huge. Another huge
Mm-hmm.
win for them. Another statement game. I'm excited, man. This is
Yeah.
something that is going to be like a playoff atmosphere for
There
both
you go.
teams. Yeah.
You hit the nail right on the head, Joe. Because I was gonna say the same thing. I was gonna say it feels like a playoffs because the Spurs played them in Vegas not too long ago. Now they're playing them again, and then they're gonna play them again on the 25th. You know what I mean? It's like a playoff. Um, so yeah, the OKC definitely gonna come. They got a chip on their shoulder. They're ready to go in there and they want to beat the Spurs. It's a budding rivalry. They talked about that, about it being a rivalry and all that. I would call it a budding rivalry. I'm not saying it's a full blown rivalry yet, but yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna have a playoff feel to it. The first game is in. I said this a couple of weeks ago. I said it's like a boxing trilogy, bro. It's like one fight. It's like Pacquiao Marquez. Like one fight is in Vegas, one fight is in San Antonio, or one game is in San Antonio, and one is in OKC. So um, it's gonna be exciting. I will say, if I had to, I mean, I mean, conventional wisdom will tell you hopefully they go 1-1, they split the games. That's what you hope for. Of course, if the Spurs can win both, then great. Obviously you don't want OKC to win both, but if I had to pick the games though, Joe, I'd rather the Spurs win in OKC on Christmas Day. If I had to
I want
pick,
him to win
if I
both.
had
I
to
want him
pick,
to win
I
both.
want them to win both too. Of course, I want them to win both too. I want them to win both too. But if there's a gun to my head and they say you only can pick one, I'm picking winning in OKC on Christmas Day, being the Grinch that stole Christmas in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Man, that'd be great.
Right, with the last second shot by
Yeah, yeah,
De'Aaron Fox or
yeah.
Wemby, you know?
Kind of
Boom.
like that year when Roger Mason stole Christmas from Phoenix and he hit that shot. Oh, that
Yeah.
was so
I
fun.
remember that one.
Oh, that was
Everybody
so
still
fun.
remembers that game, bro.
Oh, that was so fun. Oh man, that was fun. And Roger Mason did he did the balls uh celebration. You know what I'm talking about? Where
Yeah,
he like
yeah.
runs and yeah, oh my god, dude. It was great.
The big
It was
balls, that's what he's doing. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Kobe used
Major
to do
League.
the same thing, dude. He used to do
Yeah.
the
It's
same
remember
thing. I
remember
tell the
Major
kid.
League is from Major League where the dude
Yeah,
keeps doing yeah, yeah, yeah. It's gonna
yeah,
be
look,
fun, man. It's gonna be exciting. Yeah, man. I mean, I'll take both. I'll take both all day long. But again, you gotta remember, man. OKC is a very tough, formidable team that has a chip on their shoulder. You can't discount them. You can't, I know we're riding high. I know we're sitting here like, oh, the Spurs and everything, but you got to think like OKC is gonna come in and be ready, man. They're gonna be ready to play. They want these wins bad. They don't want any kind of doubt because doubt is creeping in their mind. They
yeah,
won one chip. They won one. Great. You know, that's amazing, man. Don't get me wrong. It's very hard to win a championship in the NBA. I get that. But now that you're the hunted and not the hunter, everyone's coming at OKC because they're the defending champs. So doubt is seeping in their mind. They're like, wait a minute. We went to Vegas and we should have beat the Spurs and we didn't. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
there's some doubt in there, bro. It's like a boxing match, bro. You get knocked out, bro. I don't care, bro. Like it's still in your mind. It's still in your mind. The next time you're in that ring, you're like, wait a minute. Last time I was in this ring, I got knocked the f out. So it's in your mind, bro. So the doubt. That's what the Spurs need to do. The Spurs need to impose doubt in the Thunder's mind that
yeah,
you're not the unbeatable force that you think you are. You
yeah.
know.
I wanted to share this clip here too. I saw this one earlier this morning. And we Spurs fans, we're riding high right now because our team's doing really well this early
Yeah.
in the season. Finding
We said to win without Wemby. Wemby coming off the bench still. Spurs continue to win. Don't mess with the formula right now. Let me fix my mic. I'm sorry.
Yeah, your sound is a little off, bro.
fix it now. But it goes to show you just how well the team is playing right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and share this from NBA TV. They were kind of talking about the Spurs and they're breaking down, the young wings and the bigger guards that the Spurs have. And it's interesting to see what other people have to say beyond just, the local media here, everybody that like Finger and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Don Harris and everybody else talking about them and whatnot. Even on the local replays and whatnot that we have here. You have your usual suspects, Sean, Jacob talking about them,
Mhm.
even have Dan Weiss talking about the Spurs and whatnot. But let's hear what the national media has to say about them.
Drew, I know you watched the NBA Cup action, and I know that for you to be impressed, it takes some big time scoring, especially from younger players. So, who stands out to you on this Spurs team aside from Victor Wembanyama, who might become a Drew Hanlon watch candidate over these next couple years?
I just like their wings. I think they have so many good young wings. And I'm kind of throwing in, kind of all of their bigger guards as well. Obviously everyone knows Fox has been a great player for a long time. Wemby has been a standout. But I think when you look at Castle and Vassell and those guys, and even Harper, who's, bigger guard, I think that they have the qualities of being the two-way guys that really build championship contenders. Every championship contender has a star, a superstar usually that ultimately puts them over the top. But it's the other guys that make them the contender that they are. And I think that's what the Spurs have. And like we mentioned earlier, I don't think everyone thought their window was now, but they're competing right now. I think that if you'd say they're not a contender, I think you're lying to yourself. Now, can they put it together in the playoffs? People are going to say they're too young, but that's what people said about OKC last year, and we saw them roll through the playoffs. So we'll see how they do, but I'm excited about a lot of those guys on San Antonio's roster.
And there you go, man. And
bro.
rightfully so.
He's
You
saying
should be
he's saying
excited.
he's saying that's national media, bro.
Yeah.
Saying what we're saying, saying exactly what we are saying, bro. Like the others are the ones that really do gotta show up. Yes, your star's gonna put you over, but the others are the ones that are gonna put you there. So
Yeah.
um,
It's a
yeah.
good problem to have if you're a Spurs fan right now because in years past, what does the Spurs needed? They needed somebody that can go out there and defend the wing. You needed
Mhm.
a two-way player, a
Yeah.
player or players that are going to be good both on the offensive end and give you something on defense. We're seeing that out of the guard play that we have here. Especially Stefan Castle. He kind of reminds me of Pete Kawhi when Kawhi was a thing here in San Antonio.
Mhm.
And I'm not,
Mhm.
I know how everybody feels about Kawhi, but you
Yeah,
can't
I know what
discount
you
the type of
his
player that he was in
the player that he was on the
2014.
court.
You
Yes.
know?
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
take that
No.
away from him. And you look at Stefan Castle, and he has that same skill set, where he's able to go ahead and play that really, lockdown defense and play great
Mhm.
defense throughout the game and also give you something on the offensive end. That just
Mhm.
goes and helps your team because if he's not scoring, he's playing great defense. He's going out
Mhm.
there and getting the rebounds, maybe, getting the 50-50 balls, helping do all the little dirty work, maybe boxing people out of the freaking paint, so you can get the rebound, doing things
Mhm.
that matter, and that's a good problem to have with like Vassell, and you have Harper playing well, Castle playing well. I call him again that three-headed dragon. That's like the
Mhm.
Hydra.
Mhm.
You cut the head
Mhm.
off of one, it just regrows back, bro. You
Yeah, just
can't stop it.
regenerates. Just
Yeah, it
regenerates,
regenerates,
bro.
man. So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
that's the Spurs right now.
You know
They got to
what?
worry about
Yeah.
other people besides Wemby.
Yes.
You can't
Yes.
just
And
worry
that's the
about Wemby no
key.
more.
That's the key. Before, when they just had Wemby and that's all you had to worry about, the Spurs were losing. Like call it what it was, right? Spade to
Yeah.
spade. When it was just Wemby and nothing else, yes, the Spurs are losing because Wemby can't do it all. I mean, eventually he's gonna have to sit on the court, on the bench, whatever. So yeah, at the end of the day, like you can't just be Wemby. As great as Wemby is, I think he's amazing. I think he's a generational talent. I know Joe, whatever the forms. We're not even talking about that. I think Wemby's amazing, but you still can't win just on him. You can't. You can't
Yeah.
just win on just Wemby. Now, what I will say, and what's funny to me, and people always like, people hate when you like bring back old stuff or call people out or remember when. Like people hate that, right? But it's like, bro, I remember how adamant people were about F them picks. Those picks are worthless. F them. F them picks. It was a hashtag.
Win
It was a
now.
hashtag. F them picks. Those picks became Hassel and Harper. Bruh, how can you be? This is what's funny about this. Is like people are like they love Castle and Harper it's so amazing. It's great. You were saying F and picks who became Castle and Harper. Hey, I mean, am I wrong or not? Somebody tell me if I'm wrong or not. Because when people didn't want those picks, those picks turned into Harper and Castle. So it's just crazy to me how adamant people were about they didn't want the picks and the picks were worthless and Brian Wright sucks and all this stuff. But like, bruh, like look at this, and now they're like all in love with Castle, all in love with Harper.
Well,
It's
what's
just
your
funny
phrase?
to me,
What's your
bro. It's
phrase, Rick?
funny to
If
me,
it ain't
bro.
right, it's wrong.
Exactly. If it ain't right, it's wrong, baby. If it ain't right, it's wrong. Which is another thing. Another thing. Brian Wright doesn't care probably to get flowers, but like everybody is talking like how great this team is now and how constructed they are and how amazing they are. Does Brian Wright not have something to do with that? I think so. I think so. I think he has a little bit to do with that. The GM,
Yeah.
a little bit. But y'all were ready to fire this guy before. So winning changes people. Winning
That's what I
changes
was saying.
that winning. All the most negative fans on Twitter are now positive, are now happy, are now
Yeah.
excited, are
What
now
does this?
tweeting
What do
live
we say?
games the way we've been doing this whole
Yeah.
time. Even when the team was down, some of us were there. Some of us were still tweeting, still going to games, still being season ticket holders. Now everybody's on board.
Yeah.
Eh,
I'm just saying, at the end of the day, winning makes everything beautiful. And that's the thing with the San Antonio Spurs right now. They're winning. They're number 2 in the West. everything's looking good if you're a Spurs fan. You couldn't ask for more. They're way ahead of schedule right now, further than I think anybody would have thought they would have been. You know, I thought they were going to be up there in the top 5, maybe top 6. And I thought, hey man, maybe they can go up as high as 5, maybe 4. But now you're seeing them ahead of schedule, and I mean, I'd hate to. I'm not going to be a Debbie Downer or just belittle expectations, but since this team is so young, they haven't been proven battle tested yet in the playoffs. You can't discount the growth that you're seeing out of this team, right?
Hmm.
And at the end of the day, everybody said the same thing against OKC, that they can't be title contenders, that they can't be this or that,
Yeah.
and they proved all the naysayers wrong. Who's to say that this Spurs team can't do the same thing?
Mm. Right.
Expectation for me, and looking at this team ahead of schedule, looking at everything that I'm seeing, them being able to win without Wemby, it wouldn't surprise me if San Antonio, when the dust settles, if this team surprises everybody in the playoffs and they wind up meeting OKC in the Western Conference Finals, dude. That would
Yeah.
not surprise me if something like that happened.
Yeah.
That would be like, man, this team is that good now. This is where
Yeah.
you can say, man, if you're a Spurs fan, hey, man, I didn't expect it. It's a good problem to have. And you know what? The Spurs, Mira los Spurs, they might be legit
Hmm.
title contenders
Yeah.
now. You
Yeah.
know?
And yeah. And so since Joe took that stance, everybody thinks I'm like beyond too positive, quote unquote. I'll go the other way, Joe. Just for the conversation.
Yeah.
Also, though, it wouldn't surprise me if they lose in the first round or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they get to the playoffs, they meet a tough team or the second round or something like that. Meet a tough Denver team or whatever. I'm just saying, like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Again, I'm not talking in absolutes. What I'm saying is, the Spurs could they haven't made the playoffs in 6 years or however long years, right? So it's a building process. Like it's very
Oh yeah.
rare that a team goes from not making the playoffs to winning the championship. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
always a progression. So to me, you know, if the Spurs make the playoffs and either lose in the second round or lose in the Western Conference Finals, that's a win for them in the season, and then they just build on it. They build on it, and then they come back next year and they roll. So
There's levels to it, I
there's
get
levels to it. There's a
yeah.
level, and I don't know. People are gonna take what I'm saying like, oh, Fernandez is saying that they're not gonna win in the playoffs. That's not what I'm saying. It wouldn't surprise me if they show up in the first round and lose, or the second round, just like those teams in the '90s with Robinson, Elliott, all those
Rodman,
guys, Rodman. Yeah, yeah, those are great teams. People look back on those teams with a lot of fondness. But I'll tell you what, if Twitter was around back then, they would have
Woo!
been they would have buried David Robinson. They would have buried Sean Elliott. They would have been like, they can't win. They like, bro, from 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 90, all
What were
those
the teams they
years,
couldn't get past?
they couldn't
Golden
get
State,
past Gold. Yeah, they
Portland,
couldn't get, yeah,
Lakers,
Portland. Yeah,
Utah,
exactly. Yes, yeah,
you know?
Utah. Stockton, Malone, Utah, Spurs couldn't get past, right? People would have buried. It's so funny because revisionist history is always what it is. So of course, right now, Spurs fans love David Robinson and all that. They would have buried him. In this Twitter generation, they would have
Mhm.
called him soft. They would have called him he can't win. They
They
they would have
already
wanted him
remember when
traded,
he was
bro.
not being
Oh
able to
my
go that
god,
far
dude.
into the playoffs, bro? I
Oh
remember
my
that.
god, dude. Spurs Twitter would have buried Robinson, and how negative they are, they would have, and now it's like, oh, he's the legend and whatever. Of course, because it's revisionary history. It's 2020. But back then, these same negative people would have been horrible. They would have been ready to fire Pop, ready to been fire Robinson or trade Robinson, whatever. So
Or
again, it's
remember
a
the backlash when
process.
Pop
It's a
fired Bob Hill? Remember
process.
that
Yeah,
too.
yeah, 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 exactly. Yeah, Bob Hill had just went to the Western Conference Finals versus the
Yeah.
Rockets. Elijah won the Rockets. So it's a process. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Spurs, make the playoffs, maybe win the first round. If they lose in the second round, people are gonna start to, oh, you see, I knew they were whatever. It's a process, bro. Like just getting there and being in the playoffs and being in these type of situations is great for Wemby, Harper, Castle, young guys, and then they're gonna build upon that. So
Yeah, you know what we're gonna do too? We're gonna go ahead and pause real quick and give some love to our sponsor here, PF Chang's. And just remember, PF Chang's powers the chat that you boys enjoy so much. And also, don't forget that on Wednesdays, it's Wines Day Wednesday. So, what does that mean? You get half off bottles of wine and champagne every day, all day on Wednesdays. And make sure you go and see our boy, Sean Quintero, and let him know the Area 210 sent you. PF Chang's La Cantera, San Antonio's premier destination for dinner, date night, or happy hour. Enjoy one of their signature dishes, such as the Singapore street noodles, sesame chicken, or Chang's spicy chicken, or their infamous Chang's chicken lettuce wraps, which are delicious, by the way. You can enjoy all this while you're dining in an Asian-inspired atmosphere. And make sure to enjoy the new outdoor patio and try some of PF Chang's signature cocktails and drinks during happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. PF Chang's La Cantera is a proud sponsor of the Area 210 podcast. And there you go again.
Oh
Thank
yeah,
you so
gotta do
much
it.
to PF Chang's. We appreciate you and supporting the show and for all you do. And again, make sure you go in. If you go out there, tell Sean that we sent you. Tell Sean Quintero Area 210 sent you. And we appreciate you all sharing pics. If you went and got the Japanese old fashioned, that
Oh
I'm
yeah.
always recommending, dude, because it's a good drink. I'm telling you. And also go ahead and make sure that you try the $8.99 signature cocktails. Went out there on Saturday and I tried the lychee again, was one of my favorites. I also had the Golden Buddha. One of the bartenders
Mm.
came over and made us that drink, really good. And we also had the Long Island. That one was good. Unfortunately, we couldn't do the mule, their version of the mule, only because they didn't have the ginger beer in stock. Because hey, man, it was a great day. Everybody was enjoying them drinks, so they were just flying. But
Yeah.
$8.99 signature cocktail collection is very good. You can't go wrong. Also, I've also partaken in the lemon drop martini, also really good. Make sure you go out there, support the show, by going out there and getting something to drink from PF Chang's and getting something to eat. We appreciate you guys.
Let me tell you something, bro. 8.99. I'm not in Cali, bro. Those drinks in Cali are about $15 to $20. Like, and I'm not
Right.
trying to exaggerate or those drinks. All those drinks you just described here in Cali are about between 15 to $20. 8.99. Come on, man. You can't beat that. Joe, I know we're coming up to the hour and a half minute. We got to talk about that
Oh yeah,
fight.
dude. We got
We
to
got to
talk
talk
about
about that fight that happened between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul. What do you think, Joe?
I saw that fight, man. And I got to tell you, man, this fight, and again, you got to look at it this way, man. These fights, they got to be scripted, man. There is no way that you can tell me that these fights aren't scripted. And it's an exhibition fight. These fights are purely done for entertainment. There's no, belts that are exchanged. It's a sanctioned fight. I get all that. But at the end of the day,
Mhm.
these are exhibition fights. This is something that's just done for one important thing and one important thing only. It's all done for ratings. That's it. Just get that viewership in there. And that, you know what? That's all they care about. They don't care about putting on a good product. Jake Paul, y'all got to understand one thing. He's a promoter and he just wants to go ahead and get the viewership in. He don't care about you. He don't care about putting on a good performance out there. And if you watched that fight on Friday night on Netflix, like everybody else watched, you were
Mhm.
sorely disappointed. That fight was a payaso show. It was a clown show. It was so bad that even the ref was telling these guys, man, you all better start fighting because the people out here paid good money to come out here and see you guys, and y'all
Yeah.
are embarrassing. The
Yeah.
announcers said the same thing. What's going on, man? This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. They were ashamed to be even out there calling this damn fight. It was a debacle. This fight should have ended in the first round. That's what people came to see. Give them what they want. And it went, what, 5, 6 rounds?
6. Yeah.
6 rounds? Why? I mean,
6 of
at
8.
the end,
Yeah. 6 of 8.
Paul couldn't even stand up, dude. He was just falling down, exhausted, tired. Bro, he couldn't even pick up his gloves no more. He was just hugging him. Joshua,
Yeah.
he's just hugging Joshua. AJ,
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua, he's just
Yeah.
hugging him up, hugging him up. And Joshua too, he's just like playing with his food too much. He could have taken
Mhm.
he could have taken this fool out quick. But they
Mhm.
both know one thing, Rick. The longer these fights go on, the better it is for business.
Mhm.
But there was such a discrepancy when it came to skill set, when it came to power, when it came to size. Paul was out of his league, dude. He was over his head. Once he finally got that one, and it wasn't even like a solid punch that
Mhm.
Joshua really landed on him.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was good enough. He felt that power. It was good enough to break his jaw, you know?
yep.
And when he
Hmm.
hit him and he tagged him, he fell on the ground. He knew he got tagged and
Hmm.
he was out. And he was like, wow. I'm like, bro, you wanted that smoke, and he would have brought that from round one. You would have been on the
Yeah,
mat in 30 seconds, you know?
exactly,
So, I mean,
exactly.
it was just a clown show, bro. It really was, man. That was
Yeah,
just disappointed. Like, you all couldn't put on a better performance than that, dude. Like,
yeah.
come on. What do you think?
Yeah. Again, I'm a big boxing fan. Joe, just like Joe, like we both are huge boxing fans. I've had the pleasure of being in the ring as an amateur boxer, golden gloves, silver gloves, all that kind of stuff. So I know what it takes to get into that ring, and I respect anybody that walks into those squared circle, because anytime you walk into the ring, you're risking your life. So that's one thing I will say. There's a bunch of people on Twitter, on the chat, or whatever, who've never been inside a boxing ring, who've never fought like that. So anybody that gets in the ring, I will respect you, because you're risking your life. Because I've done that. I've been in the ring. I've had over 100 amateur fights, golden gloves, silver gloves, all that. So if you've never been in the ring, it's hard for you to talk about certain things because you've never been there. But um, they're talking about Imagine paying for it. It was on free on Netflix, by the way.
Oh,
So
no, they were saying,
you
like,
didn't pay
if you
for it. Like,
had
yeah.
to, if
Well,
yeah.
yeah, of course. But yeah, but I'm just saying. So first and foremost, I what I'll say is I did give Jake Paul credit for taking the fight against a world champion, Olympic
Yeah.
gold medalist, a big dude, 6'6", 240 pounds. Like, Jake Paul was could have not he could have made a bunch of money, and not fought. And real Bobby says he wants to box me, bro. We can do this anytime, bro. I was at Calderon Boys and Girls Club too, with Pastrana, bro. So if you want to box me, real Bobby, by all means, bro, you can. I know you have a problem with me, bro. Big dog, we can get in the ring, easy. Real
Hey, what
talk,
was that
real
one?
talk.
When did you do the
Um,
celebrity boxing with you and
yeah.
Miguelito, Michael,
Yeah, Miguel, exactly, exactly. We can do this any day,
for
bro.
charity?
Trust you, me, bro. Like I said, I don't call people out, but if you want to call me out, yeah, we can do it. We can
For
do it, bro. I
charity.
don't
We'll do
start
a
it, but I'll
boxing
finish
match for
it.
charity.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, like I said, man, it's so yeah, man. I mean, again, I give Jake Paul credit for fighting a world champion
Yeah.
that's in his prime, that is 6'6", 240 pounds. Like, I give him credit for getting in the ring with that guy, because a lot of people won't get in the ring with somebody like
That's
that.
a big boy. Anthony
So it's a
Joshua is a
big dude.
big boy,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, exactly. No, Anthony Joshua is a big fighter. Like I said, a world champion, Olympic gold medalist. So I give Paul credit for fighting somebody of note, because he fought Chavez Jr., who was way over the
Oh,
hill.
man.
He fought a Mike Tyson who was way, you know,
Silva, Anderson
past his
Silva.
prime.
Bro, come
Yeah, yeah,
on,
yeah,
man.
exactly, exactly. So this is an actual real fighter. Now, what I'll say, I'm actually disappointed in Anthony Joshua. I'm disappointed in
Hmm.
AJ for not just going in there and blasting this dude in one
30
round.
seconds,
Like,
it would have been
like,
done,
like,
dude.
yeah, he shouldn't. He's not in your league, bro. Like,
No.
he's not in your stratosphere. Like, there's no reason why Anthony Joshua shouldn't have just gone in there and blasted him in one round. So, I don't know. I don't know if I want to say it's scripted, but it feels like
It's
he was
scripted, bro.
told he was told to carry him for rounds, or something. Like he just, because Anthony Joshua wasn't putting punches together. He wasn't throwing combinations. He was like one punch at a time. He was like jabbing and
There
like
were times
just,
where Paul was just out there like a
yeah,
sitting duck
yeah,
waiting to be knocked
yeah.
out, and
Right,
he
right,
he
bro.
pulled his
Here,
punch.
yeah, exactly. The moment that Anthony Joshua did go at Paul, he broke his, like you said, he broke his jaw on a punch that didn't even seem that hard. Like, you know
No,
what I mean? Like, it was just a normal overhand right. And his
no
jaw
big
was
deal.
broken. He was
Yeah.
done. Like, so AJ could have done that way earlier, man. So it just seemed like it embarrassed me, or I was embarrassed for AJ as a boxer, because now Jake Paul can say, "Oh, well, I went 6 rounds with AJ." You know what I mean? Like, I just I don't know, man. It was a debacle. Thank God it was live on or free on Netflix. Which
Yeah,
shout out to Netflix for putting together these fights. You don't have to pay for them on pay per view. But it you know it was it was a show. It's like a train wreck, like or a
yeah,
car accident. Like you have to watch. Like you're driving and you see a car accident on the other side of the highway. You look, you can't help but be like, oh my god! Like you have to look at it, and then you drive on and you move about your day. That's what it was, unfortunately. Shout out to Alicia Bumgarner, the co-main event, the women's champion,
that was
who
a
put
good
on a great
match.
show the fight
Yeah,
before. So that's one thing I will say. Jake Paul and MVP Promotions have put on really, really good female boxers on the map. And
yeah.
so there's some silver lining in that. So yeah, man. Yeah, it's it's all good, man. It's all good. It's no issue. So
These types of fights are gonna hang around because the person who actually started this was Floyd Money Mayweather, right? He's the one that started
mhm,
the advent of the exhibition
yeah.
fight, right? Putting it
Mhm,
up out on pay-per-view because people were willing to pay to see a fighter of the caliber of Floyd, right? So then other let's say boxers
mhm,
started picking it up and they'll be like, "Well, hey, Floyd's making money." He was
yeah.
the guy that was out there, uh, he was a trailblazer, right? In many
Mhm,
ways, Floyd is, right?
yeah.
So he's the one that started the advent of the exhibition fight, and now you have people like the Paul brothers, kind of
Yeah.
doing their thing with their status as far as their reach, and what they bring as far as the promotions and whatnot. And Oscar De La Hoya was talking about Anthony Joshua and the Paul and Jake Paul, right? And he was saying, "Look, man, Anthony Joshua notoriously has issues with smaller fighters. It's hard for him to punch down." He
Mhm,
was like, "Oh, I predict Paul's gonna beat Joshua," and I'm like, "Oscar, man, come on, dude.
yeah.
What you smoking?" Like, I respect Oscar De La Hoya as a boxer,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And his
He's
clapback
just
Thursdays or
being,
whatever
yeah,
funny,
yeah, yeah,
but no, no, bro, come on, like,
yeah.
you gotta
He's
stick
just
to
being a
that,
promoter,
man.
bro. He's being a
Yeah.
promoter. Yeah, he's just
Like,
being a
come on,
promoter.
man. I
Yeah,
bet you if
he's just
Paul
being a
went
promoter.
calling the Golden Boy, he'd be there in a second, bro. Because
Oh
there's a
yeah,
lot of money to be had. He ain't gonna say no to money, you
yeah.
know?
Real talk. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
That's
cocaine ain't
facts.
gonna
That's
pay for itself, bro.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. That's facts. So it's funny because Real Bobby's saying, he said, who's got the bet? I'm in my prime, 26 years old, no smoking, drinking for me. And you know what? Real talk. Okay, I'll be honest. I'm 42 years old. So
Yeah,
I didn't know Real Bobby was 26. I thought he was a grown man. So my bad, bro. I
yeah.
didn't know you was a little kid. So I'll be honest with you. I'll be 100. If you're 26 and you don't smoke, you don't drink, yeah, you're in way better shape than I am.
Oh, yeah.
I'm being 100. You're in way better shape than I am. So my bad, bro. I thought you was a grown man, real Bobby.
That's,
So if you are 26 and you don't drink and smoke, I'll be honest, bro. In a boxing ring, you'll probably get me because
it's
I
a
don't
young
have that
man's game.
stamina anymore at
Yeah,
42 years old. I'm being 100. I'm being real, bro.
yeah.
I'm being real. Now, if you want to do a street fight, then that's different. You know what I mean? Like a street fight is different. So a street fight is different. Boxing
Oh,
with gloves in the ring, I- I'll say it right now. Bro Bobby will probably get me in a boxing fight if he's 26.
yeah.
No smoking, no drinking. Yeah, I'll give it to you, Bro Bobby. I'll give it to you. You'll get me. My bad. I thought you were a grown man. I didn't know you was a kid. Now, in a street fight, that's different. That's different. So we could probably do both. We could probably we'll do a boxing match and then a street fight. You know what I mean? And then
No.
third trilogy, is something else. So yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you
My
get
bad, bro. I didn't know you was 26, big dog. My bad. You're right. I'm giving you props. At 26, if you don't drink and you don't smoke, oh my God, bro, you'll outlast me just in endurance. I mean,
yeah.
that's facts. I
That's
mean,
that's what that's what should happen, like, when you
mhm,
get up
mhm,
in your
mhm.
40s, your 50 or
That's
whatever,
true. Bro,
like,
hey, bro,
yeah,
look,
man,
I'm
come
42
on.
years old, bro. I'm 40. Man, I got kids that are older than real Bobby. So,
Facts, because
of
you
course.
were you were a young father, yeah.
Right, right,
True
right. So
true
yeah, of
facts.
course, bro. At 26, bro, you got the stamina. You got you're in your prime, bro. Like you shouldn't even be wanting to fight a 42 year
I'll
old.
be the
Why? I
promoter,
don't even
Rick.
know. I don't even know why real Bobby wants to fight a 42-year-old. He's the one
Th
that called me out, like
this would
wanting
be
to fight
funny,
me,
dude.
bro. Don't
We'll
fight a
we'll do it
42 year
live
old,
from the
bro.
duck
Like,
pond, live from the duck
yeah,
pond.
yeah, yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Live from the
You're
duck
not gonna
pod, bro.
you're not gonna leave my kids fatherless, bro. Don't worry. Don't worry
And
about that.
what
Don't worry about that.
We'll have Dyer be
Yeah.
out there, man, calling the
Yeah,
play-by-play.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Don't worry about my kids,
Woo!
bro. Yeah, yeah.
That's
That's
funny, dude.
funny. Yeah, no, and like I said, I'm being real. Like he keeps throwing shade. I'm being 100. Like a 42-year-old and a
Yeah.
26-year-old, bro. You're in your prime, bro. I got it, bro. Like you shouldn't even want like why would you want to fight a 42-year-old when you're 26, bro? You know what I mean? Fight another 26, 28-year-old in the chat, bro. Like don't worry about me. If you're
Yeah.
26. Why are you worried about a 42-year-old? Why does a 42-year-old concern you if you're 26? You know?
Oh,
Like,
man, the guys in the chat are clowning, bro. They're like outside the ring at
yeah,
Fred Fish Fry over here on Marbach, bro.
yeah. Real talk.
They got plenty
Exactly.
of space in the
Exactly.
parking lot, bro. Real talk.
Exactly. Straight French fish, bro. Straight French
Hey,
fish,
can
dog.
you imagine walking out with the trunks? You know, like
Yeah,
they have Thomas J.
exactly.
Henry.
Yeah. Bro,
Dog.
the Fred Fish trunks, bro. The red
No,
and blue trunks, bro, just coming out like Rocky and shit, bro.
the
You
robe,
know?
the robe.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Duh. Oh
Exactly.
man.
Exactly. Now, don't back up now. Don't back up now, Real Bobby. Don't give me that. Don't give me that. I was kidding. Merry Christmas bullshit. Don't back up now, bro.
Oh, look.
Don't. I hate that. I hate when y'all back up
Oh.
like that, dog. Like, don't back up, dog. Like, yeah, that drives me crazy, dude. Like, don't fucking backstep, dude. Don't backstep.
Oh.
Own it. Own it. Own it. Don't backstep. Like I said, I gave you props. At 26 in a
Oh
boxing
my
ring, you'll
God.
get me, dog. You will. I'm owning it. Don't
I
back
tell
up,
you,
dog. Don't
man.
backstep. Don't backstep.
I tell you, Rick, man, that I could see that robe, bro. That Fred's fish
Yeah.
fry, bro. That would be
Oh,
fire, dog.
bro, that would be, bro. The whole Fred Fish robe,
Yeah.
the cover on your head, bro. Like,
No,
yeah,
bro.
yeah,
People
exactly,
be they're gonna be
exactly.
wanting that. Hey man, where'd you get that, dog? I want it too, you know that.
Exactly. You should respect your elders. You should respect your
Uh,
elders. Of course. Exactly. You should respect your
fight
elders, bro.
fight of the
Yeah,
century, bro.
yeah. I'll find you. I'm not hard to find, big dog. I'm not hard to
Oh
find.
my
Come
God,
on.
bro.
I'm not hard to
Stop
find at
it,
all, bro.
bro.
I'm not
Stop
hard to
it.
find at all. Yeah, I'm not hard to find at all. Don't back up and then now start being big shit. Like,
Uh,
get out of here,
look at
bro.
this,
Goodness.
dude. Y'all got me
Yeah.
dying, bro.
Yeah.
Chingasos at Pin Road in Marpa.
Real talk, bro. Real talk.
Oh,
Real talk. Pin
Chingasos,
Road and
dude. That's
Marbar, bro. You know what it is, dog. You know what it
Puro exit
is.
coming to you live from Puro
You know
Exit
what it
7, bro,
is,
in front
bro.
of the
You already know what it
Fred's Fish
is.
Fry.
You know what it is, bro.
Yeah.
That's the thing, bro. Like I said, man, I'm a grown
Hey,
ass
but
man, dog. Listen, I
would you
gave you.
classify your weight class as though? Like, what would you be coming in?
Um,
Featherweight?
I mean, right now I weigh about 165 pounds.
Okay, okay.
You're talking about
Middleweight?
super middleweight. Yeah. And I'm
Yeah.
42, weighing 165. Shit. Back in the day, dog, I used to weigh 125. I was a
Featherweight?
featherweight back in the day.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Back in the day, I was about 125. Right now, I'm probably about 170. I mean, all that and that's with drinking all this shit, right?
Yeah.
That's with all
And
this,
you
right? So
got the
about
belt. You already
170.
got the
Like,
belt. Come
yeah.
in. You got the
Yeah,
Spurs
exactly.
belt.
Oh man, I should have brought the belt out here. But yeah. Yeah,
No, bro.
exactly, bro. Yeah, exactly. Bobby is 26. Doesn't drink, doesn't smoke. He's probably 120 pounds, 130, or I don't know what he is. He's got to be if you don't drink and smoke. I don't know. But
No, bro.
yeah.
Torta ring girls. Ya, cállate, bro. No, bro.
Yeah, exactly,
Man,
exactly.
that,
So
that
yeah,
would be brutal, bro. You could imagine, man. The line to see
yeah.
this thing would be crazy, dude. In front of the
Yeah,
Fred's Fish Fry.
I know. I'm just saying, bro. When I was 26, bro, I would shudder at the thought of trying to fight a 42-year-old. You know what I mean? Like I'd be
Yeah.
like, bro, real talk. I'm just gonna respect my elders, let you do your thing, bro. So it's crazy to me that a 26-year-old is like trying to call me
I
out and shit
know,
like that,
dude.
bro. Like you in your prime, dog. Enjoy your prime. Enjoy. I don't know if you have kids or if you have a girl. Like enjoy that, bro. When I was
Enjoy.
26, man, like
Everybody
yeah,
just
bro.
enjoy life,
Yeah,
man, in
enjoy
general,
exactly.
man.
Enjoy your
Come on,
life.
dude.
Enjoy what you got going on, bro. Like if you don't got a girl, I mean, then that's your thing. thing, but I don't know.
Man, you all have me dying, dude, in this chat, dude.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the roll con la Fred's fish
Yeah,
fry,
yeah, yeah.
torta ring girls. No, bro.
It'd be an event. It'd be an event. Again, bro, we could do it for charity, bro. If you want to do something for charity and
Front
raise some
front
money,
yard
bro, we could.
barbecue out there también, güey. No, bro.
Oh my God, I'm
Hey, we just
dead.
do it in front
Yeah.
of the Citgo, dude, right by the car wash. Yeah,
Yeah.
vamos, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck it, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Why not, bro? Why not?
If you know, you know, you know. You see a lot of
Exactly.
fights out there for free anyway on the weekend, you know?
Oh, bro,
Ain't
that's
no
what it
thing, dude.
is, man. That's what it is. That's what it is. Shout out to my guy JHNSB. You're my guy, bro. I appreciate you, big dog. Um, yeah, man, it's funny, bro. It's all good. It's all fun. It's all fun, bro. Here's the thing, bro. At the end of the day, it's all fun. Like,
Everybody's
I've
having
been,
fun with it, dude.
yeah, exactly. And, I'm a Marine, dog. I've been to Iraq. Like, I've there's combat and like life and death situations, dog. So this stuff is just fun, dog. Like it's all fun and games, bro. Like at the end of the day, like no one's gonna lose, no one's gonna die, like no one's gonna, any of that, So it's funny because if people like that, if you've never been in there, like you've never served your country, gone to Iraq and almost died, and you never done any of that stuff, but you want to call me out. You know what I mean? Like it's all good, bro. Like it's all good, bro. Like, at the end of the day, man, like, do you and I'll do me and it's all good, you know what I'm saying? So,
Real Bobby will be the
yeah,
in-ring announcer. No, bro, you all got it all planned out already.
yeah.
It's
He's still
funny,
talking
dude.
about Jacob Toby. I feel like I think he has a crush on Jacob Toby because he keeps
Nah,
talking
can't
about him. Like
stop it,
you
dude.
keep bringing up Jacob Toby. Like I don't know why. Like no one's talking about Jacob Toby. Like nobody except for Real
Look
Bobby.
at
You know what I mean? Like he has a
Tony.
crush on him. Like
Tony Ellis says Michelle Beadle and Myra will be the ring girls.
yeah, man.
I
Yeah,
like
it's
the
all good,
torta ring
bro.
girls, dude. Just keep it puro, bro.
Why not? Why not, bro? Why fucking not, bro? Why not? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Putazos
fuck
and
it, bro. Puro pinche exit 7. You know what it
putazos
is.
on exit
This
7.
show, hey,
No,
when Mike ain't here, bro, this show takes a left turn, bro. This show
no,
takes a
bro.
left turn, bro.
Oh, dude, man.
And it's all
All right.
love, bro. It's all
On
love,
that
man. I
note,
appreciate I
we're gonna have to
appreciate
go ahead and
everybody.
we're gonna
Yeah, I
have to bring
appreciate
this show
everybody
to
in the
an end
chat.
already, dude.
I
I gotta get
appreciate
ready to go
everybody
to
in the
work.
chat. Hell yeah, man. I appreciate
We
everybody in the
appreciate
chat,
y'all,
man.
man. Y'all made it
Yeah.
funny today, dude. I mean, that's a heck of a way to end the show, man. I still got it in my head, bro. The robe with the Fred's fish fry, dude. You walking out to that Apollo Creed song from Rocky?
Mm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
No.
Mike's probably watching this show like I can't leave these two alone. He's like, I can't leave these two alone. They be
Oh, look
going
at Myra.
sideways. Mike needs to come regular. Exactly. He's like, these two are just going sideways, dog. Like,
Woo,
yeah.
bro. Hey, sometimes that's what needs to happen, dude. This was
It
fun, dude. It
does.
was a
It
lot of
does. It
fun.
does. It does. It does. Is
I
Mike
needed
gonna
a
be
good
back
laugh.
tomorrow or no?
Yeah, we'll see, dude. I'll see if Mike's gonna be
Okay.
back tomorrow
If
night.
not,
We might actually have.
I'm off all week, dog. I'm off
Yeah,
all week. I ain't got nothing else to do. So I'm
yeah.
here.
I'll let you
Bobby says
know.
he's gonna look for me. This is where I'm at. I'm in San Diego, 3448 Meadowview Drive, Oceanside, California. If
No,
you want to
bro.
find me, this is where I'm at.
Yeah, you're
I
doing the
mean,
Tony Stark.
I'm doing the whole exactly. A phone number, area code
No,
210,
bro,
area
man.
code
No, hombre.
210 792-2737, bro. That's where I'm at. If you want to look for me,
Oh, God.
3448 Meadowview Drive, Oceanside, California, 92058. Like, that's where I'm
No,
at,
hombre,
bro.
bro.
So I ain't hard to find. I ain't hard to find at all.
All right. We're going to go ahead and bring this show to a close, man. We'll see y'all tomorrow. I'll let you know about tomorrow. We'll see what's going to be happening. But appreciate everybody, man, for watching
Yeah.
the show today.
Oh
We
yeah. Hell yeah.
appreciate
Good
y'all.
show.
Go Spurs,
Good
go,
show.
man. Hopefully they can keep getting the wins. They got a big one against OKC on the 23rd, man. So we'll see. 23rd,
Yeah.
25th. If they can get those 2 wins, those are
Woo!
statement games, man.
Woo!
Those statement games.
Let's do it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
All right,
Everybody stay
man.
puro.
Stay puro. We'll see y'all
Oh yeah.
we'll
Stay
see you all on
puro.
Tuesday, man. Have
Yep.
a
Stay
safe one.
puro.
Laters.
Yep.